It's your guy who was never lying, sometimes defiant. TP Way the Giant. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs.
Sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant.
Hey, Shooter, you at home right now? Get back in there. I will kick your
Sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant.
It's your guy.
What you gotta say to the camera?
Yes, sir. TP Way the Giant.
Knowing is all you want to. He's built for this shit. We don't fold, motherfucker. We don't fucking fold.
Son, I gotta do better than this.
Sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to yours truly, TP Way the Giant and the NYG Lieutenants.
Sir.
Jorge from Born for Sports, of course, is with us. David, the Giant Way, is running a little late. He'll probably be here a little later and all of that. But beside all of that, it's going to be a good one. This is a very special one. And as you can see in the title, in the thumbnail, all that good stuff, we have a special guest, y'all. A special guest. This one is definitely going to go in the history books for me, man. As a New York Giant content creator, one of the things that I am big on and that this whole NYG Lieutenant thing is about is that we are only going to invite people that we look at as lieutenants. And this is definitely one right here. For someone who is a student of the New York Giant content creating thing, we have someone who could send out a master class and sell it for $1,000 a pop, and it's gonna sell out because this is someone who I personally watch all the time. I don't know about you, Jorge, man, but I'm gonna be real with you. There's not too many New York Giant content creators that I like. I'm gonna just be serious with you. But this is one that honestly,
He's one of the legends on there.
I know y'all. If you know, you know. The one and only Copizzle is with us.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you feeling, man?
Man, you gonna make me tear up over here, brother.
Oh man, we just getting started. Hey, man, I got a whole lot to say, man. We just getting started.
I appreciate that, man. That's very nice of you to say that, man. What's going on, Jorge, man? I appreciate you guys having me, man.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I don't know how I follow that up, TP. I appreciate it, brother.
Well,
I don't even know what to say. You left me speechless. It's hard for me to be speechless.
I was just about to say that. I left you speechless. What? Oh,
Let me just say, for all of y'all out there that don't know this, man, y'all need to get up on his channel, man. You're talking about one of the YouTube, all-time greats in here at Giant content creators, man. Back in the TTC days, if you know, you know. This man used to lock it down, man. I'm telling you, y'all.
Yeah.
The Pizzle know what it is, man. I'm telling you, y'all.
And look, I got to get all of this out, man, because, if we go at it on this episode, we'll go at it. But I have to let this be known, man, because what happens in this content creator world is that people don't do enough of giving flowers, man. And I think that is just something that I can never join and tag along with that, man. I'm big on, showing love and giving props when it's due. I will say this, man. Another thing that people do not do is they will not say, "Hey, Copizzle, man, you did this on your channel, and it inspired me to do this." Or, "Look, I got this from you," because there's so much pride involved that it's never going to be said. I will be the first one to let you know, man, as a student of this thing, I not only do I consistently watch as a fan, but I'm definitely taking notes, watching you like, oh man, maybe I could do this differently or whatever. Right. Not in a copying format, but as a student, man. And so that's what I'm about, man. That's what I'm about.
Well, let me just tell you this, TB. I appreciate you saying that. It's funny. There's a lot of people that, when they watch my content, they kind of think like, oh, well, he's a character. He's kind of like he's a character kind of. But what's funny about me is, and this is honest to goodness truth, I feel like the person I am on YouTube, the person you see right now, the person you see in my videos, that truly is me. That's the real person. The person I go out in the world in, the person I show the world, if I go to the stores, that's a fake person. That person ain't real. That's just me just pretending on putting on a little, that the real person is who you see on YouTube. That's my authentic self, man. That's who I really am at heart. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, I appreciate that. I remember a time being on YouTube when there really wasn't any Giant fans. There were no content creators. And I kept telling people, I was like, they coming. They coming. And so anytime anybody asks me to be a part of their channel or help them, man, I'm going to do it because I love Giant fans. Truly, I honestly do. And I there's a lot of people out there that want to put themselves out there, but they don't know how. And so all you need is just a little encouragement because you deserve to have a voice. You deserve to have opinion. You deserve to have put it out there. Don't be shy about it. So, man, if I inspire anybody to get on cam or whatever, man, that means a lot to me. That's the best compliment I can ever get. And so, I appreciate the love. I even see Big Dash. I see Dash in here making the comments, man. He's a good one too. He's a good one.
It's so funny that we having this conversation right now because eventually I want Big Dash to come on, man. He's another one who I consistently watch. And I mean the same thing when it comes to him, man. But Big Dash says, yeah, Cop is definitely a guy that kicked the door open, whether you agree or don't agree with everything. His passion is undeniable.
That's a fact.
Yeah, for sure. We can't deny that at all. Ollie Jackson, hey yo, man, LG, man, get
OG,
David on the phone, man.
Good,
tell him, come on, man. Tell him to log on. I don't know if he's asleep or what, man. But he says, what's going on, gentlemen? Hey, Taquan Lewis, we see you, baby. We see you. What's going on, man?
What up,
DC
Taquan?
Dude says Giants should hope for a 3-win season so they can get their quarterback of the future.
Oh,
DC Dude. DC Dude.
Nah,
Look,
bro.
man,
You trying to win out here.
There went all the good stuff out the window.
Look, you too early, man. I know you want that energy from us, man, and it's gonna come, man. But just be patient. Be patient. You're gonna get what you're asking for, man. Just be patient. All right. Hoping for 3-1s is crazy. Yeah, he just talking. He know that. He's just talking.
Listen, we all want the same things, y'all. Come on, we want to win. Listen, at the end of the day, we want this team to fulfill what we want them to do. There's talent on this team. I believe it. The roster's better. You know what I'm saying? And I truly believe we are a good quarterback play away from becoming a playoff team, man. That's all we need. The roster's better.
All right. So you set it
the
off.
Roster's better,
you set it off just by saying that. All right. You set it off just by saying that. So look,
let's be honest.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man. This has been a busy week. Training camps, week 1. There's been a lot of videos circulating throughout the internet, and everybody. You said a quarterback away. Everybody has.
No. I TP. I said good quarterback play away. I didn't say quarterback.
Okay.
This year, we talk. We got to see if he's the guy.
Okay.
So I know. Cop know he the guy. I know. I see it already.
So listen. Cop, this is something me and you agree on. I mean, I am a. It's gotten to the point really where it's just like, look, either you're a Daniel Jones guy, or you're not, or you are split down the middle. Right. Me personally, I'm the Daniel Jones guy. That's me. So, yeah, I don't want to go on too much of a rant because I want y'all to touch on this, man. But let me just get this out because I've been waiting all week to say this. The Daniel Jones hate is getting disgusting.
Yeah, it's out of control.
It's getting disgusting. Like, when did we get to the point to where we are now sharing videos from you being at practice. And I hate to sound like Allen Iverson when I put the emphasis on practice, but we are talking about practice. We are talking about in the lab where you work on your game and where you are supposed to make mistakes, where you are supposed to clean things up. And it is never, I can't remember a time where there has been just so much hate on one player. And even when it just comes to just, hey, look, Daniel Jones overthrows, it is circulated everywhere. And then it's just disgusting. DC dude, you are one of the guys, I can tell. You are one of those guys that you just want to hate. And I am just going to tell you, man, wipe your mouth because it is getting nasty, man. It is getting nasty.
Bro.
Honestly.
DC, what's good, man?
Yeah, man. I just see it, man. But Copizzle, go ahead, man. I had to just get that off my chest.
Well, let me just you're talking. So one of the things you're talking about is something that was going around, was viral on Twitter just the other day. On the very first practice, Daniel makes that little swing screen pass, right?
That's one of them.
Call it what it is. New York Revival, which is they're content creators. They're the ones that posted it originally and got shared out of everybody. And those three, those three were advocating for the Giants to draft a quarterback in the spring. So, they can sit here and tell they can sit here and say that they're not rooting against the quarterback, but then I can also see clearly they ain't posting good clips. They weren't in a rush to post good ones. They in a rush to post the bad ones, but they didn't want to show the good ones at first. Then they had to because they got called out. But nevertheless, that's just the truth. Nevertheless, Allen Iverson said it best. We talking about practice. This man is coming off of an ACL injury, 8 months removed, right? He's got new weapons. Singletary's new. Malik Nabers is new. He's finding his footing. Of course, he's going to make bad passes week 1 of training camp. I don't know why anybody would think that he wouldn't do that. I'm actually glad that he's getting it. What's crazy to me, training camp videos, training camp in itself can be good and bad. If Daniel's out there lighting up the defense, well, what does that say about our defense? Exactly. I mean, if he's throwing incomplete passes, what's that say about our? There needs to be good and bad. I don't understand what the problem is if there is good and bad passes. Our defense needs to be good for us to be successful. It ain't just about the quarterback. Right. It's crazy to me that they just want to see the offense succeed. If the offense is out there killing them, then we ain't got no defense. Period.
Exactly.
I don't know what's the confusion about this.
And also look, to cut into that, to follow up with what Cobb said, how do we know they even run into certain plays against them to make the offense look better, or vice versa? Maybe the defense, knows what's called, things like that. I heard there was things like that going on last year with Dable, or his first year here.
Well, I think that was I think that was going into the 2022 season of training camp that he was throwing things at Jones for him to purposely mess up. So that's another point. We're talking about freaking practice. If I remember correctly, last training camp we had Waller out there, Daniel Jones and them. They were lighting it up. We had a lot of good things. There was a lot of good videos, and then we went out there and got smacked 40-0 week 1. I take the training camp stuff with a grain of salt. I'll just be honest. I've seen enough from Nabers. You can put them on the shelf. I don't want my man to get hurt. I need my man to be there week 1. He looks fantastic. And so I'm keeping my expectation, but it's just ridiculous. You're exactly right, TP. The Daniel Jones hate. Let me say this, because this seems to be a narrative that keeps getting said. Everyone keeps saying this is year 6 in Daniel Jones. I don't believe that. I understand technically it is year 6, but to me it's year 3, because this is year 3 of him with Dable and Joe Shane. Pat Shermer wasn't a good head coach. He ain't got a head coaching job since. Joe Judge was not a good head coach. We don't know what position he holds with the Patriots. These were not good head coaches. I think Brian Dable's a good head coach. I think Joe Shane's a good general manager. They have given this man a couple years now, and if you want to look at the 2023 season, fine. But really, you have to look at the 2022 season as well. You need to look at both seasons, put them together, and the realization is that after the 2022 season, Daniel Jones took this team with limited resources to the playoffs and won a playoff game on the road. I'm sick and tired of people acting like that's some easy task that some bum quarterback, some bust would just do. A bust quarterback don't go on the road and win a playoff game. I know Tebow won a home playoff game. I don't care. The fact is the man went into Minnesota on the road. That was a good football team, whether you want to believe it or not, and they won a playoff game. Now, he got smacked by the Eagles, I know, but that Eagles team was the second best team in the league that year. They went to the Super Bowl. They were a good football team. Tip your cap to them. 2023 season, that thing was blown up from the get-go, man. Andrew Thomas gets hurt. We got no weapons. Barkley, Jones, Waller, Thomas hardly played together. Like our so-called best players on the offense hardly even played together. So I don't even know how many legitimate reps or games that Thomas and Jones really had together last year. Like, if you lose your best player on the offense is going to suffer because of it. Andrew Thomas is probably the best player on the offense. He's a machine at left tackle. Why would Daniel Jones have any confidence in his offensive line when the best player is gone and his best weapon? Look, I love Darius Slayton, okay? I love Darius Slayton, but Darius Slayton is not Batman. He's Robin, okay? Bottom line, like he doesn't need to be the leading receiver on the team, but he has been. Jalen Hyatt was a rookie receiver who wasn't ready to be thrown out there just yet. He needed some time. Wandale's been hurt. I understand Barkley's been out there, but it's like I'm like Daniel Jones has legitimate excuses. It's fair to point those out. I don't know why it's so hard for some people to understand that. Look, I'm with you. They need to win. The quarterback play is important. Did the Giants have an opportunity to get one? Yes. Did they try? I still question on how hard they really tried to get one in the draft. They believed in Daniel. They gave him a contract. This is a make it or break it year for him. Absolutely. Because now he finally has weapons and the tools to be successful.
Definitely sink or swim season. He got everything. Those receivers are good, boy.
Before I even entertain this comment right here, let me just say this, man. You 100% right on, man. 100% right on with everything he just said. And that's the thing that kills me, because I said this last episode. How come when everyone talks about Daniel Jones, they just want to ignore the 2022 season? Like I don't get it either. To gloss over that. I don't understand that. And then they don't like
the man played almost a full 5. I understand he didn't have a ton. I understand he didn't have a ton of touchdowns, but he only threw 5 INTs the whole year. That was it.
No one likes to talk about that, and I really don't understand that. And I can't. Anybody who is not a Giants fan, I dare you just to ask them this simple question. Name 4 receivers that we had that year, and I guarantee they won't be able to do it. I guarantee it. They won't be able to do it.
Darius Slayton wasn't even a starter to come out of camp. Remember, he was like on the bench. He didn't even get.
He took a pay cut.
Yeah, just to come back. I mean,
matter of fact, that week 1 game against the Titans, I don't even think Darius Slayton dressed.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he dressed.
I don't think so either.
TJ Witt says wide receiver room is butt cheeks, and he is a Washington Commander fan. So I just want to say this. If our
Daniel
wide
Jones
receiver room is butt cheeks.
Yeah, Daniel Jones been tapping his ass since the day he got here.
That's a fact.
I mean, Washington, they ain't got nothing to say to him.
Come on, yo.
How about TJ Witt? How about your Washington Commanders actually sweep our team for a change before you even come on here talking about somebody butt cheeks, yo?
It's impossible.
Please.
It's impossible.
But going back to 2022 at the end there, TP, we got when we get to that Minnesota game, we were talking about how great Isaiah Hodgins was playing, right? Isaiah Hodgins was coming in, and we were starved as a fan base for somebody to make plays. Where's Isaiah Hodgins now?
Mm-hmm.
Where's he in the mix? That's what I'm talking about. It's like we have not had talent at that position. Wow. The two guys that I mean, look what they've done. Look what they've given Daniel. They gave him Kadarius Toney, right? That man is even flopping in Kansas City, right? You shouldn't even flop in Kansas City. If there's one place you should be successful, it should be Kansas City. He's flopping there. Kenny Golladay, I'm sorry, he was a broken down receiver. The Giants rolled the dice. It didn't work. That man hasn't played another NFL down since he's left the Giants.
Yep.
Darren Waller apparently wanted to be a rapper, because he clearly didn't care about football. You can't, and then those that compare Darren Waller, a weapon, to Nabers. Waller came in here with some tread on that tire. Like, he played for several years. Nabers is a brand new car. That's a brand new Maserati. That thing is ready to go. That thing ain't got no miles on it. It's crazy to me that you can't understand the difference of that.
And see, look, also one thing that you said too that just makes me bring this fact up is people also like to forget what Jalen Hurts looked like without weapons. People they completely forget about that. See what I'm saying? But when you give them AJ Brown,
why is it TP that guys like Tua, they get weapons? Why does Joe Burrow get Jamar Chase? Why does Hurts get AJ Brown and Devontae Smith? Why did Josh Allen wasn't nothing? I mean, Josh Allen's a good quarterback, but his game stepped up when Diggs showed up, right? The year before he wasn't that good, but then Diggs shows up the following year. He's great. Look, I love Eli Manning, and I've been making my rounds telling everybody this. I loved Eli Manning. Eli Manning's probably one of my favorite Giants of all time. By the way, those LT clips you were showing to start the show, that gets me ready to run through a brick wall every fucking time. LT is my spirit animal, okay? Anyways, I loved Eli. But Eli Manning got taken to another level when Plaxico Burress showed up. Eli Manning got taken to another level when Hakeem Nicks was on the team, Victor Cruz, Steve Smith. Like, these are good. I'm sorry. I loved Amani Toomer. I love well-dressed Amani Toomer. Amani Toomer didn't take Eli to another level like Plaxico did. Okay, that's a difference. Weapons matter. People are always like, well, Eli had the 31st ranked offensive line. Yeah, but he had weapons. He had Brandon Jacobs. He had multiple running backs who were talented dude. He had guys that would get open fast. Everybody thinks that the quarterback should just run around and scramble and make plays. I'm sorry, it don't work like that all the time. You need guys who can get open. You need safety nets. Mahomes has had Travis Kelce his whole career, which is a great safety net to him. He's had a great coach in Andy Reid. I'm not saying Mahomes ain't the best. He is. But he's also had a lot of good resources to use over the years. Yep. Daniel Jones has had incompetent coaches. Seriously, what is the best receiver Daniel Jones has had to throw to in his whole career? Honestly, what's his best receiver? Are we really going to say Golden Tate?
Darius Slayton.
Come on. And that's the thing. Like, how
a fifth-round receiver.
This is not even a real question because I know the true answer. But how can y'all not see that and ask yourselves, yo, what are we going to do to protect this man? Or why is the Giants continuously putting themselves in that same position, man? And it's always going back to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. It could be drop passes galore. It is going to be Daniel Jones' fault. And this is not just me to try to paint the picture that I believe Daniel Jones is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. But come on, let's talk football. Let's watch the game that we are both seeing with 4 eyes.
That's what, and I feel the same way, TP. See, I have to defend Daniel so strong that it makes it come off like I think Daniel's the best quarterback in the league, and it's not even that. I've watched tons of Giants football day, and our history says that this is just what we do. We hated on Phil Simms. Phil Simms found a way to win a Super Bowl. We hated on Eli. There was a time that they were getting ready to run Eli out of town before Plaxico showed up and saved his ass. I mean, they were doing that, and Eli went on and won 2 Super Bowls. Why would the thought that anybody had of getting a quarterback in this draft blew my mind? Because, okay, let's say you draft Drake May, and let's say you draft – who the hell are they throwing to? Like, I like Jalen Hyatt. Exactly. I like Darius Slate. I like Wandale, but none of these guys are ones right now. They're not ones. You need an alpha dude receiver. Every solid team has got that. Where's our Justin Jefferson? Kirk Cousins gets a huge fat contract in Atlanta. You want to know why? Because Justin Jefferson gave him a contract. That's why. Fair. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how people don't understand that receivers can help a quarterback become what he is.
Look, you saying the same thing that I was saying all off season. Everybody was talking quarterback this, quarterback that, and I'm like, look, that sounds great, but still, who is he going to throw the ball to?
Who's he throwing to? Who is the option? To me, getting Daniel or rolling with Daniel, and you've already got him under contract, and then grabbing a guy like Nabers, could have been Harrison. Obviously, the Hard Knocks, our receiver coach, Coach Grawl, he clearly liked Nabers. They clearly came off, at least what they showed was that Nabers was their favorite receiver on the board. Okay. They got their guy. You look at training camp, this dude, you look at training camp videos and understand I'm just practice, but he looks just different. Like, he looks different than we like. To me, look, I thought OBJ was a great receiver, right? OBJ made great plays, but we have suffered since we've lost OBJ. We never replaced OBJ, okay? Yep. We never did a good job doing that. That's just facts. He, to me, looks better right out of the gate than OBJ did. I mean, just because if you remember when OBJ first showed up,
everyone pulled that hammy.
Yeah, he was getting hurt. I mean, Malik Nabers, look, I hate to sound sus here, but this man's legs look fantastic. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They look strong. He looks like a football player. He looks like a legitimate football player. OBJ kind of, OBJ always had that like soccer kind of look to him, kind of deal. Not as he didn't look as strong in his lower half, but like Malik, I mean, he looks like he got tree trunks for legs. Like, he just looks like a big dude.
But it also seems like he could literally be anywhere. From the slot, from the outside, from in the backfield. It looks like he could be, and not just be anywhere, be dominant anywhere. So
he looks like an alpha.
Exactly.
And that's what it's crazy to me. Like, why is it? And not to go back to Daniel Jones, but why does he not get his opportunity to play with somebody like that? Why is it that why is it that if you take? I'm sorry, like, I love Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is probably one of my favorite quarterbacks, if not my favorite quarterback that's not a Giant. If you take Jamar Chase from him, if you take T. Higgins away from him, I'm sorry, he may be a different dude. I mean, it's just facts. I mean, the man has always gotten to play. When you look at what he did at LSU, he had Jamar Chase. The year that he didn't have Jamar Chase, his rookie year with his Bengals, he got hurt, but he was not playing at a high level. All of a sudden, the following year, he gets healthy. He gets Jamar Chase. His game picks up. I'm like, these receiver positions, it used to be that when a rookie receiver would come in, they would struggle early. Rookie receivers now are coming into the league and dominating right away. I don't know. The college game has changed, and these guys are coming in right away, and they're playing at a high level.
Yeah. Hey, let me do this real quick. I just want to catch up with the chat, man. The chat is actually blowing up right now. TJ Witz, he says, "Oh man, y'all so stuck in the past. It's crazy. Let it go." TJ, this is just a history lesson for y'all, because y'all forget about
what past did you want to let go? What past did you want to let go?
Too? He a Commanders fan too?
Oh yeah, he a Commanders fan, man.
What pass do the Commanders have? They didn't even have a team name for 1 year or two, right?
Come on. David is in. All right, David is here, baby. David is here.
Good, what's going on, man? What's going
David,
on?
This is Copizzle. This is my man David from the
salute,
Giant
brother.
Way, man.
What's up, David? How you doing, brother?
I'm
Boy,
good,
look
brother.
at that century. Look at that century red on you, boy.
Ooh, I look good, don't it? You know I had
That
to.
look
You know I had
good.
to put it on.
Man. Look, man, I'm
Next.
gonna bring
Who
mine
did you?
out.
Who'd you get, David? Who'd you get?
I got Dexter.
Dex. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about getting one of those too, but I just don't know who to get.
Man, I went with the safest bet.
I'm not gonna lie. I got Dexter too. Man. I couldn't let his phenomenal just consistency go
That's pretty
past
much what it was for me.
without me representing Dex, man. So I don't have before this jersey, I didn't have Dex in the collection. So I was like, look, this is a perfect time. DJ is the Terminator says the 60-minute man, the myth, the legend, Copizzle. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you, brother.
Oh man. Mosley, salute Giants fans everywhere. Yes, sir. You in the place. You in the right place, man. Giants salute to you. Chris D. What's up, Pizzle?
What's up, Chris?
Yes, sir. TJ Wentz again. How y'all gonna act? How can y'all not act like y'all banked on Saquon in a passing league?
I disagree with that.
The front office did.
I think they were trying to they thought that basically if they brought Saquon to the team and with OBJ already there, that they were going to make it Eli's last run to get another ring. That's the way I felt. And at the time, I'm not going to be one of them Giant fans that's going to act like, oh, well, the whole time I didn't want Saquon. We should have took a quarterback. I was like, draft that dude. Let's make another run and get this ring. Because 2008 still hurts to me because I felt like that was the year we should have repeated. And if it wasn't for Plexico, I'm sorry to say it because I got love for the man. If he didn't shot himself in that leg, the Giants were going to win another Super Bowl. They were the best team that year. They beat everyone in their building at that time. Everyone. The teams that were in the Super Bowl that year, the Steelers, they went in there and beat them in Pittsburgh, a place that no one ever was going in to be in that defense at the time. Okay, Arizona, they went in Arizona and beat them too. You know, so I just felt like I was not mad at Gettleman for doing that. I actually wanted them to take Saquon up there. And I know it was second overall. Could we have traded down? Possibly. We don't know that. Saquon was talked about as the top prospect in that draft for a lot of time that year. I remember it. So we don't know what was going on. I believe the Browns had two top 5, 6 picks. I don't even remember all of that, but I think they had 2 picks in that first few picks. So I think I'm not even mad. We tried it, it didn't work out, so be it.
Fact.
And it ain't funny how, and again, I loved Eli, but isn't it funny how he loses Plaxico and that season goes to shit?
Yeah.
I mean, because it matters.
Yeah,
it matters.
What did he have? He had 2 more on his last legs to throw to left. Was it Steve Smith, I believe? And I don't even remember who the other receivers were, man. It was tough, man. It was tough.
Hey,
we were so good with the run that year, but the Eagles knew how to play us, and they had that game plan when they knew Plexico was not there because they could not stop Plexico ever when he was on the Giants.
That's a fact. Hey, look.
Well, that's I'm bringing it to current time though. It's like, I mean, you got to, I mean, you lose your number one guy, you're going to be affected by that. It's like, again, it's not all about, I love that Eli gets the credit that he deserves, but damn, man, like you got to give Plaxico his flowers. Like you just have to. And you're right. Eli and the Giants, they would have got a 3rd ring right there. Eli would have got his 3rd ring.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Look, hey, David, I'm going to give you the floor in a second, man, because we are on the topic of the Daniel Jones hate, and you know we can't talk Daniel Jones without getting with you, man. So,
yes, sir.
The DC dude says that playoff win was fool's gold. Y'all should have started your rebuild that following year. That's crazy because it was full gold all year. Y'all kept saying it was fool's gold. It was fool's gold, and we fool's gold our way into the playoffs. So that you could kill that. You can't fool's gold your way into the playoffs. That doesn't work.
Fool's
like
gold.
This man's talking record.
Win on the road.
Yeah.
A playoff win on the road is fool's gold. Stop. Minnesota was, I think, a top 2 seed that year. Come on,
man.
Stop.
Hey, we gonna give. Hey, look, DC dude, we gonna give you the attention that you want. I understand.
Man, you don't want
It's
me to
not.
get started on you, brother.
Yo, come on, man. What's going on? There's nothing exciting is really going over there on the Commanders. They just happy that they have somebody to call quarterback
I thought he was
again.
talking about Dallas Cowboys. He's a Redskins fan? Oh,
Yes,
no.
yes.
Oh, no.
I don't know where these Washington fans are coming from, but they here.
Jaden Daniels got them feeling like up here where they should be here.
Yeah.
I don't know. They need to relax.
Man, Big Dash Nose says it's the cards you're dealt to, Pizzle. A lot of guys don't get this many years to prove themselves, regardless of what's around them. That's a fact. That's a fact. DC dude, same way y'all held on the same Howell a year too long because he showed some promise. Who we got here?
I remember Commanders fans was telling me how at the games, I'm at MetLife with my shout out to my Section 330 crew, by the way. I'm at the games and they telling us how Sam Howell the truth. Sam Howell this.
yeah. I know him too. I talk to him too. SETI079 says Dexter should be the Giants fullback lead blocking on the goal line. Yeah, that would be crazy. Mac Customs. Yes, sir. TP and Pizzle. This is legendary. Giant salute, man. Hey, definitely legendary, man. Definitely legendary. Big Dash Nose says, bottom line, Pizzle, Jones' back is against the wall this season. It's all up to him. He's in charge of his future as a Giant. That's a fact. And
listen, Dash was telling me, and Dash knows this. Dash was telling me this offseason, I need to let it go. He told me, he said, you just gotta let Daniel go. He is over.
Nah,
he tried to tell. And look, I wasn't willing to do that. And I stuck to my guns. But I'm gonna say this to Dash. I get it. I understand that this is it. This is a make or break for Daniel. I 100% believe. I get it. But I'm as a betting man, I'm betting that this is going to work out. That this is it. Like, because you've now given him, to me, the resources to be successful. Now the question is what are the what I would like to ask is what are the actual expectations of every Giants fan? Because if you're going to demand that he wins a Super Bowl, well, then I don't think that's necessarily fair. You know, if he gets the team to the playoffs, they win a playoff game. Is that enough? You know, do you have to live in this fantasy world where he has to put up X amount of numbers? What is the goal that he has to reach in order to maintain his position as the quarterback of the Giants? I think he's going to take this team to the playoffs. I think when you look at the totality of the NFC, that they can be successful in the NFC. Can they win a Super Bowl? That's yet to be seen or no, because we got to see how we compare up to our division foes. You know, we need to worry about beating Eagles consistently and just beat the Cowboys, period. Yeah, but I mean, to me, like what goals does he need to reach in order to maintain his job? That's the question that I feel like needs to be asked.
I'm gonna respond to you. I mean, obviously we got to get to the playoffs. That is where he needs to bring us to stay as the Giants quarterback. As far as him reaching the heights of the Super Bowl, I mean, we should expect that from him. We putting everything around him, so we definitely should have Super Bowl aspirations. Like me, you can't tell me nothing after any season. When the season's over, you can't tell me that we're not going to the Super Bowl. Like, I'm just that type of fan. Like, I have that much positive outlook on our team, and being realistic about Daniel Jones, he does have a weapon now. So let's see what this man can do with Nabers.
Well, I said this before. I said this before, and this is my thing. I think we definitely want to get to the playoffs, right? But my thing is, all I expect to see from Daniel Jones this year, and of course, this is only if the offensive line isn't as horrible as they was last season, which I doubt. They can't be any worse than last season.
He needs 3 seconds.
What I need from Daniel Jones is to be a part of the solution. And when I say that is, I don't want to win games and it be because our defense is the thing winning the games. I want it to be, okay, yeah, we win some games, but Daniel Jones, like he has done, he is the reason on why we are winning these games. And I think that's enough to keep him. I think that right there is just enough.
Let me respond this to David, because, you know, again, I don't want to talk about the Pat Shurmur experience or the Joe Judge experience. I want to talk about just the Dable experience, because that's who I believe in who I think has been good for Daniel. They've had 2 seasons together. Jones got hurt for the majority of season last year. Let's bring in 2022 to the picture. He takes this team to the playoffs, wins a playoff game. If you can just muster up a way to beat the Eagles, right? And I understand we're playing woulda, coulda, shoulda. You're probably going to beat a 49er team that was down to their 3rd string quarterback the following week, which is who the Eagles beat to get to the Super Bowl. If they beat the Eagles, the Giants would have found themselves in 2022 possibly in the Super Bowl. I understand that that's a hard, they were technically 1 game away. So that's a team led by Daniel Jones. So now you're looking at a 2024 team that, in my opinion, is way better than the 2022 version. They just have to stay healthy. Thomas has to stay healthy. Nabers has to stay healthy. Jones has to stay healthy. To me, the biggest concern is if Daniel Jones stays healthy or not. That's the biggest concern.
Offensive line for me.
I would just want to respond to Cop when you said the expectations for Daniel Jones. I look at it like this: 25 touchdowns, 4,000 yards, lead us to the playoffs, win a playoff game. And I'm good with it. I'm good with him coming back. I just feel like the talent on this roster is so much better now. Like you said, 2022 was what we had. And he did a good job, especially in the second half of the season, won a playoff game. I'm not one of these fans going to act like it don't matter. Like, oh, he just won. Okay, what's the reason? It mattered. Last year didn't go well, so be it. This is it, though. This is it. As a season ticket holder, I feel like this is it for him. It's sink or swim. I've said this many times. You showed me 25 touchdown passes and 4,000 yards with these weapons they got, because I really feel like this is the best receiver core we've had since the 2011 Super Bowl season. And I've said it many times. I think the talent is there. Malik Nabers, he transforms everything, puts everyone back in their slots. Hyatt, Wandell in the slot. He makes Slayton. He makes everything, like we talked about earlier. He's the alpha. This man gets protection because I expect this offensive line to be better than last year. Runyon, Illuminor, be better, make it better. Daniel Jones has to do that and be the reason we move forward, be the reason we won. I don't want to see any more of, kind of enjoy the ride. The defense held it down every game. You're going to have games where the defense is going to be the best unit on the team. That's cool. Mm-hmm. That's Giant football. But for the most part, I need Daniel Jones to lead the offense. And if he can't do it with these weapons, I don't know, man. I mean,
I understand that.
I'm expecting 25 touchdowns, 4,000 yards this year, and if I don't get it, well, we're gonna have to have this conversation again.
Now, did you say the best receiving core since 2011?
Yes, I believe that.
I would argue too that this is probably the best pass rush we've had since 2020-11 as well.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah,
no doubt about it. 2016 was pretty good, but I agree with that too.
The defense, has been the defense the last several years has been a bend but don't break defense. We have not had a defense that's created any type of turnovers or given the offense good field position for the offense to be successful. Our offense is always having to start inside the 20-25 yard line. You're having to go whole damn field most of the time. I'd love it if we could start at our own 40 once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like at least close to,
and to jump in there. That's why I'm saying it's important for Daniel to have a good defense, because at sometimes we're gonna have to lean on our defense. Like they can't just go and let teams just score. Like they have to be able to stop someone so Daniel can continue to build on what he's doing. But we can't be in games where it's a shootout. We gotta be able to get some 3 and out. So the defense is going to be a huge tool for Daniel Jones to be successful.
But let's don't forget now that in 20 again, I don't mean to go back to 2022. This man and this team they beat an Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packer team. They beat a Lamar Jackson Baltimore Ravens team. Yeah. People act like this man has not beat anybody. Like he's beating good quality players and he's beating good guys before. So last year just was a terrible year from the jump. I mean, it just didn't work out. We got hurt, we got banged up, and it just fell apart.
And see, that goes into like that, man. That goes into what I was just saying about everyone loves to forget about 2022. Like, really break it down.
It's weird.
And people are listening to Cop right now and like, hold on, they beat the Ravens? Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they
like,
yeah.
They forget
We
about
beat Green Bay. We beat Green Bay on the other side of the world too. I mean, so it's
And we
it's
had
just
a shootout game with the Chiefs as well. Don't forget that. In
Yeah.
KC.
I was at that Raven. Well, I'm a season ticket holder, so I'm at the games. But that Raven game was by far the most electric MetLife felt in I don't know how long. The way we won that game. I mean, that was one of the best moments that year, in my opinion, when I went to that game. So
Defense was
and
a big part of that, though.
And I believe we're the only team to beat in the NFC to beat Lamar Jackson, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we were.
Let me catch up with this chat, man, because when Copizzle show up, man, chat do stupid things, man. Hey, I can't even keep up, man. So listen, no, I want to address this. Jones needs to throw that corner and 7 route better. Let me ask you this, no. If you put aside the training camp videos that you've seen, when in the actual game can you say that? In the actual game, because you don't say that watching Daniel Jones when it's game time. We're only saying this because a few videos in practice in the lab while trying to get better with different receivers, while those videos are circulating, that's the only time this is brought up. Come on, man. He got the nickname Daniel Downs for a reason. He throws good balls when it's game time, man. Come on, man. We're not going to act like that.
One thing we cannot do, and even the biggest head, they cannot say that DJ don't got arm talent. He has the arm talent. That is not the issue with DJ to me. The issue is staying healthy, of course, and just the processing on the field with the reads.
Got to get rid of it quick.
But that plays into the offensive line as well, not being good enough to give him time. So, like, I don't even know where that comment came from. I guess he's looking at them practice highlights. Man. I don't know what that was about.
Man. SETI079 says Brian Dable calling the plays this year has me excited. Most definitely. I feel you. Most definitely. Ollie Jackson, old school, says once I see DJ trust his blocking up front, he will be an all-pro QB watch. Well, hey.
I like Ollie.
And hold on, we had this conversation on our last one, the last one that I was in. If we have an offensive Pro Bowl, whether it's a wide receiver, tight end, whatever the case may be, Daniel Jones has to be a Pro Bowler. I feel like there's no way that we have an offensive weapon that gets Pro Bowl status without Daniel Jones getting it.
I like that take. I'm with it.
There's no way.
Brian McGowan, Big Blue, says he's been giving nothing. Bad GM, bad coaches, bottom 3 offensive line every year, practice squad wide receivers, and he still won a road playoff game versus a 13-win team. Finally, they give him a number 1 wide receiver. Brian McGowan, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. You just sound like you have common sense. You sound like you have common sense, bro. And I trust me, man. I feel you, man. I feel you.
No matter how much you feel about Daniel Jones, whether you agree if he's a quarterback or not, nobody can ever say that this man has been given like the best weapons or anything to work with in his career. You know, I think the worst thing that happened to him was Joe Judge and Jason Garrett with that offense, because Pat Shermer wasn't even really a great head coach. We know that. But if you remember how he looked in his offense as a rookie compared to what happened after that, it's like they changed him. It's like they just changed him, Judge. Like they just told him, don't make mistakes and dump the ball off. Like, it was just crazy. It was crazy.
On, man. Ray Charles could see that shit was a disaster that year.
It really is crazy how that went, too.
Ollie Jackson says DJ also got to take shots down the field, too, and not lock on one wide receiver. Well, you can see we working on that. You could clearly see now that, you know, that is something that we are trying to put in fruition. And we need an offensive line to do their job for him to be able to do those things. You know what I mean?
They got burners on that outside, man. Whoo, man. It's delicious, boy.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Well, you got higher running to go. Neighbors doing what he doing. We know Slayton got speed. Wandell in the slot. Oh, my God. And I keep saying Theo Johnson. I love that draft pick, man. I really think he's going to be a sleeper move. I'm telling you, I really like that kid.
Yes, sir. TJ Witt says, I'm really listening to y'all talk about Neighbors like he's Justin Jefferson or something.
Here we
go.
Yo,
we come. Yo, and I want y'all to understand, though. This is coming
from
a
the same
dude.
School.
look, I want y'all to understand. This is coming from a dude who thinks Terry McLaurin is like super elite.
All right, stop. Come on.
This is who we talking to right now, man. He's just
Where do y'all get these Washington fans at?
Yo, man, this is my guy. This is my boy right here, man. We do a look. Speaking of something that I was inspired from Copizzle. Let's just take a break for a second. When I first got introduced to Copizzle, he was doing Copizzle. What was it called? The NFC East. What was it called?
Like a round table?
The round table. Okay. When I say Copizzle was whooping ass on these episodes, I'm talking about Pootie Tang bringing the belt out and every time they recorded.
Was it with like Mark Holmes and Philly 500? Okay.
Yup. I mean, see, this is the thing. When it comes to New York Giant content creators, and y'all heard me say earlier that I don't like a lot of them. There's not a lot of them that I like. It's because a lot of them are soft as shit. And I'm gonna just be real with you. It's like anytime I see them talking with other, people, with other fan bases, somebody will get in the chat and they'll say, "Oh, Malik Nabers, he is garbage," and then the content creator will be like, "Yeah, I can see why you say that."
Nah.
What? What are we talking about?
That don't happen here.
If anyone who is watching right now and hasn't been tuned in to Copizzle, go just see what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. He keeps the energy that I love you to see.
Well,
and it's not a bias thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that want to be like friends with one another on YouTube. Like they don't want to say what they really feel. They just want to. They don't like. For example, this is not to go back to DJ, but it's a comparison. The narrative is that DJ's not any good, right? So it's easy as a content creator to get on YouTube and say, "Well, DJ's no good," because that's what the narrative is, right?
Exactly.
It takes balls to come out and say, "I believe in DJ," or like just say however you feel. If you believe in it, then just put it out there and say it. So, like, if I think, for example, Nabers is going to be a top 5 receiver in this league, I'm gonna say it. Like that's just what I feel. Whether you know it or not, like I 100% believe Nabers is going to be just as good as those other LSU receivers like Jamar Chase, like Justin Jefferson. He comes from the same pedigree. So I mean, I'm with that. I 100% believe it. I mean, I'm with it. They gonna find out. I'm telling you, they gonna find out, man. They gonna find out,
man. Yo, look, I can't wait until I put my "I Told You So" video up.
I've been putting it out.
Man,
I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting.
But it's gonna hit different. It's gonna hit different. But anyway, I say all that to say TJ Witts is somebody who does the NFC East Soldiers with me, and he is the Washington Commander representative. And he tries to whip ass up there, but I gotta when I bring the big belt out, there's all that shit go to bed. But speaking of that, tune into that. Make sure y'all subscribe to TP Way the Giant right now if you haven't already, and go check those videos out.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, TP, is that at the end of the day, it's about this rivalry we got with NFC East foes, right? And you know what, the Giants, we've been shitting on ourselves for the last decade, right? We've been struggling. We've been having a hard time over here. But you know what? Yeah. Cowboy fans ain't done shit since the mid-90s. I mean, the mid-90s, right? I mean, they ain't done nothing. The Washington had a little old cup of coffee with RG3, but since then they ain't done nothing since the early 90s, right? Not a damn thing. Yeah. I mean, they ain't done shit since Joe Gibbs left. All right. So Eagles kissed their sister one time, right? They got one time. Okay. They got one little over. We have been a disaster for a decade. Yet these other teams, they ain't done nothing really, other than the Eagles getting a little bit of success, right? So it's like they had their opportunity, they had their chance. We finally, I think, fixed our shit. It's about to be over for them. They about to be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They need to go ahead and get it out now because they know who Daddy is here in a little bit.
Yup.
They gonna find out.
That's a fact. SETI 079 says Allen Robinson, in my opinion, has some left in the tank and is a good veteran for this receiving core. Big Dash Nose says, let's not lie. McLaurin is nice. He's nice.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's okay at best. He's okay.
I'm gonna give him more than okay. I'm gonna give him more than okay.
He ain't got that ceiling like Nabers.
I ain't giving nobody no credit.
Be honest.
He ain't got no Giants on your helmet. You all right.
He's not. I actually sent him a video earlier today of a Washington content creator. He went on a rant saying how, listen, we overuse the word elite, and Terry McLaurin is not elite. He's good. He said he's good. You really like him, but okay. He ain't elite.
He's a good receiver, but I think we're all expecting Nabers to be in that category of Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, McLaurin, I don't think he's in that category, you know?
And the biggest thing for that, like the way we pivoted now, like the opportunities that Malik's going to have, you can't have that with a Saquon on your team. You can't have that with the running back that is getting paid that much money because we need 100%. To use him. We have to use him. So now that we got running backs by committee, our offense is about to go crazy. I'm telling y'all.
Passing league, and it's time to pass that ball. Let's get it.
That's a fact. Big Dash Nose says, TP, I know who you're talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about. TJ says, come on, Dash, talk to him. I've seen those NFC East shows and how our fans back down, man. I'm telling you, man, it's disgusting. I hate that shit, man.
It breaks my heart, man.
I'm telling you. Let's go on. Let's get through here. Nabers is a beast. Jefferson doesn't have Cousins this year, so let's see how this year looks. We're gonna talk a little bit about that in just 1 second. Let me just get through this chat. Well, you can't believe that about Nabers without believing the same about Jaden Daniels. Just quickly, Jaden Daniels on the Commanders versus Jaden Daniels. It's going to be two completely different. That weak-ass offensive line that y'all got, that's going to have that man running for his life. And Dexy's going to make a sandwich out of that boy, man.
McLaurin not being able to get off the line because he's getting jammed.
Big Dash Nose says, I've seen Laura Brunson talk super spicy. Fact, man. Fact. Yeah. Laura Brunson he definitely has, man. That is a super fact. Speak it, sir. When's the last time y'all won the division?
When's the last time y'all beat us?
When's the last time y'all went to the Super Bowl?
I pick y'all up. Hey, TJ, matter of fact, that's a good plan, man. That's towards the end of this joint, that's exactly what we're going to do, man. We're going to cook before we get off here, man. We're going to cook you up and send you on out your way, man. When was the last time
Commanders won a playoff game?
Come on, man. Man, Terry cost me my fantasy football.
Man.
He's a good too.
Yeah, that's my homie Blaze. He's a part of that Section 330 crew. Shout out,
DJ Blaze in the building. 330 crew.
Hey,
I told you don't pick him, bro.
Yes, sir. Hey, DJ, my time is coming, man. When my next visit to MetLife, man, I'm coming with Jorge, man, and y'all gotta give me that 330 experience, man.
Yes, please do, man. Come through. Yes, Cop, if you ever around, you too, man. Come through, bro.
Oh man, I'm working on it. I've been looking at some games to come up to this year.
Man, I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna be at that first game, man. I've been looking at them tickets.
I gotta be honest, the first game is very enticing. I went to the first game that we wore the Color Rush jerseys in Philly. I had to go because they had that old logo on the helmet.
Yeah,
and
they were in these jerseys the first game.
Yeah, and but when they wore those Color Rush for the first time, I said I'd go to hell to watch them play live. So I hooked up with an Eagles fan that I knew, and he chauffeured me around the link. But I had to be there, man, for them uniforms because man, that's what raised me right there was those old 80s Giant uniforms.
Cop, I got a question for you, man. When you go to Giants games, how is your experience going? Do you get stopped a lot?
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I get stopped a lot?
Because I'm telling you right now, if I see you at a MetLife game, prior to meeting you, I'm coming up to chop it up with you. Yo, let's take this pic.
So I go a lot of times. I've went to a lot of road games, And actually, one of the ones that I got when they had the NFL draft in Nashville, which just happened to be the year that we got Daniel, I had quite a few people stop me and talk to me and recognize me. It's kind of a weird experience. I got to be honest, because I'm just a regular dude that just makes content about the Giants. So like when somebody comes up to you and says something to you, I've always had good positive responses. I had an Eagles fan when I went to the link. I had an Eagles fan that actually came and found me where I was sitting, and I didn't know if that was going to be a good thing. Like someone starts yelling at you, you don't know, is this going to be like and so it turned out that it was everything was cool. There was no problems, and so it's always great, man. I've had that happen to me multiple times. And it's a really cool experience. I did have someone kind of get starstruck on me one time, and I was like, "Hey, I'm just a regular dude, man. I'm just a regular dude. It's all good, man. It's all good." So no, it's great, man.
I don't know if you realize it or not, man. But when people get starstruck, and I know you look at it like, look, man, look, I'm just a regular dude. I just put up content, show you my but. Do you understand, man, that you have people who every time you're posting something, it's all right, y'all, time to sit back, grab the popcorn, and they are tuned in, so it's like when they see you in person, it's the same feeling that they have, when they're meeting somebody from off their television or a celebrity or such. Do you realize that? Or
well, I think what hit me was I heard someone say this to me one time, and it really stuck with me, was the fact that I may never be able to go to every place in America, right, or anywhere, some places in the world, right. But when somebody watches your place, not only or watches your channel or watches a video, not only are they allowing you into your home, because they're allowing you wherever they're from, right? So if some dude is watching me in Montana, I may never go there, but like I've been to Montana, my voice has been heard in that state. My voice has been heard in the walls of that home. I always think it blows my mind when someone says, "Hey, I've watched you from Germany," or different, England or different places, Brazil. And you just hear all these places, and it's just like, man, it's crazy that my voice has been heard in these places. And so I'm very humbled. It humbles me tremendously because at the end of the day, man, I'm just a Giants fan that just wants to share my passion with people, put it out there. And so we only got one life to live, might as well go ahead and have as much fun. So like, that's funny too, because I'll put myself out there on YouTube and I don't care. Like I just put myself out, do what I do. Right. And it's like, if you don't like it, that's cool. That's all right. You like it, then that's great, man. But like, I'm happy. I'm living my life. I'm enjoying it. I'm putting it out there. I'm expressing myself. And so it feels great to know that I got a lot of people that just would be there for me if I needed their help. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's places that I know if I was on the side of the road and they saw me, they'd stop and help me, And so that's what's great for me. That's what humbles me tremendously and gives me, a lot of it really does make me happy that I have that support system.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I'm gonna ask you one more. I'll call it fanboy questions, because this is look, while I got you here, this is just something I wanted to know as someone who Jorge know, because he on my Instagram all the time checking in with me. But I'm a big family man. And I am super duper, active when it comes to my kids, and this New York Giant thing. Just I love having these experiences with them, man. I love having them tag along. If I call my son upstairs right now and I ask him anything about football, he is going to mention the New York Giants. That is something that I see that you do that I absolutely love. And
that's dope.
It is, man. My thing is this. This is just my nerdy question. Okay. Where did Baby Doll Whistle come from? How was that created?
That should be
let me
every time,
it gets me every time, yo. It gets me every time.
Well, let me say this. So first of all, TP, I think family, obviously, if you have kids, you know how important it is, right? And we as dads and family in general is completely under attack in our society, right? You know, it's always. And so, you know, every day, I think when you reached out to me, you know, the first thing I noticed was your son, and you know, you got a beautiful boy there, man. And so you're blessed, you know. And so I know how you feel, and I know the happiness that it brings when someone compliments, you know, your kid or whatever. And so, you know, for me, man, like, I think first and foremost, we all would love to live forever, right? We all would love to, you know, we don't know. The reality is that obviously we have to die one day. But in my opinion, if you pass your passions down to your kids, you know, and you're constantly living, right? And so they pass it on to their kids, and it keeps on getting passed and passed and passed. And sure, you know, generations it can stop, but like that's how I foresee myself trying to live forever, you know, is that you know, it has to start somewhere, you know. And so for me, it's like, you know, if you pass that love to your son, being a Giants fan, you know, he's going to remember those moments with you and being a Giants fan, you know, and he's going to share that with his kids, if he has kids, or whoever, his friend, whatever the case may be. And so to me, that's how your legacy lives. That's the great way of being. That's the great privilege that we have of being a dad. And so I don't take it lightly. I will say this about as far as the baby doll whistle thing. So, I love my kids. I love obviously my daughter came first, and I just wanted her to be a part of my videos. You know what I'm saying? And we live in a really weird world where it's kind of scary to put your kids on the internet, right? I mean, we're just a crazy world. And so you can have that fear of worrying about. So it's actually funny because like I'll put my kids on there sometimes, and YouTube doesn't like it. What YouTube will do is they'll actually take my comments away from me without me allowing it. So what stinks is like, I get that, because like, all right, if you force your kids to do something, then it's, you know, it should be kind of like I understand the logic behind it, but if somebody was to say something negative about kids, especially my kids, like I would not allow that comment to just stay there. You know, majority of people actually say nice things. They say good things. So it's like, as evil as we think the world is, there's actually a lot of good people out there that actually say nice things. But anyways, to long story short, I just wanted to incorporate my little girl into the videos. I love her. I wanted to show her off. I love her to death. You know, I wanted her to be a part of my content. And I just kept thinking, like, how in the world could I incorporate her into the videos? And so, you know, you just looking around, and I started to wear whistles in my videos where I would blow the whistle when I was mad. So it just sounded funny. So then I thought, you know what? This is how I can bring her into it, is I can get her to blow the whistle for me. And so she's kind of like she loves to do it. She honestly, genuinely loves doing it.
I see it. Because, you know, dads, we know. You know what I mean? We know. I look at it all the time, and I see her blowing that whistle, and she just adores it. You know what I mean? She thinks it's so funny. I can see it.
Loves it. And she, you know, and you know too, like if your kids don't want to do something, they just won't do it. You know, they'll cry, they'll be reckless. You know, they don't want to. But my daughter, man, she loves, you know, she loves being on camera. She loves, you know, she thinks she's a princess. She thinks she's everything. So blowing a whistle, she understands her job. Like she gets it and she does it, and it's hilarious. I think it's funny, and a lot of people like it. And so that's another thing too. Is like, man, if something was to happen to me, I know there's a lot of people out there that love my little girl because she's entertained them, and that they could be there for her one day if I wasn't there. And so, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things where, you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't really know her, but they love her too, because she's been able to entertain them and make them laugh. And that's what it's all about, man.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. So
I know obviously YouTube is going to do what YouTube does, man. But I encourage anybody that's got kids, man, if you want, don't be afraid to show them out there. Like it's not, you know, to me, I don't use them as props. I just love to show them off. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm proud that I created them. I'm lucky to have them. And so it's like, I'm going to show them off, you know?
Hey, look, I'm with you. I'm with you 1,000%, man. I I have these funny moments all the times, man, when I'm just looking like, yo, I wish people could see the shit that my son just did. You know what I mean? Because all dads know, man, the funniest people in the world is your kids, man.
It's the kids, man. Yeah.
They are just innocent, man. But look, let's go ahead and get into this real quick before we get up out of here. We are starting our all-time roster, right? And we're just gonna go around real quick and just for each position, whatever name that comes up in your head, all time. We have, different age ranges here, so this is going to be interesting to kind of see the different names that is going to be pulled out the hat. But let's just see if we could build an offense this episode. Next show we'll do defense. And Copizzle, feel free, man, if you just want to tag along and throw a name. We'll do that. And we'll end it like that. I'm gonna start at the quarterback position. Y'all was throwing out names a little earlier, and I'm just sitting back like, yo, man, all these dudes is on my list. I don't know if anybody else's is different, but I'm gonna go with the 2-time Super Bowl champion, the obvious one, who should be a Hall of Famer, Eli Manning.
Yes, sir.
Eli Manning.
Yes, sir.
Jorge, talk to us, man. What you got? Who you got?
Listen, I agree with you. Eli. It's got to be Eli. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, you're talking about a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time Super Bowl champion. When he retired, top 10 in a lot of statistical categories for quarterbacks all time. And I don't want to hear any haters get on here talking about, Eli not no Hall. He will be a Hall of Famer. He will. Because you can't tell the story of the NFL without Eli Manning.
Yo, can I ask you a question? Tell me, why does the Eagles have Nick Foles, a statue of Nick Foles in front of their stadium, and we don't have Eli Manning? That's a travesty, yo.
I don't know, man. That's a little
That's an absolute travesty, man.
I mean,
we actually have a few guys that really deserve.
I know what you're trying to say. I think it's two things. Number one, the history of the Giants is so like deep with great players, historical players, that even though Eli Manning is gonna be a Hall of Fame in my opinion, and he is one of the best quarterbacks we've ever had in our history, but I just think if you're gonna do a statue, it's got to be LT. It's got to be LT first, man. It's got to. I mean, you're talking about the greatest of all time. And hey, probably won't. And the Giants traditionally are kind of conservative with certain things. So they might not be into putting the statues out there. But I tell you what, if I'm doing a vote and I'm doing someone getting a statue, I don't think anyone comes before LT. Just my opinion.
That's a fact. Hey, real quick, Big Dash says one of the funniest videos is when the kids were late with the whistle.
Yeah.
DJ Blaze. DJ Blaze says, because the Jets pay rent, that's why. Bill Sims, an honorable mention. David, who you got, man?
Man, y'all not gonna like my list, man. I went for functionality over than just what people would assume that I would say. But for me, I need Daniel Jones' body with Eli's brain. That's it.
Oh my God.
That's it. That's it. Yo, gonna go crazy.
You the fan that makes us DJ supporters look bad, yo.
Hey,
you make us look bad, man.
Like I said, I'm going for functionality, and I would rather have Daniel Jones back there than unathletic Eli Manning. I just need Daniel Jones to make Eli Manning decisions. That's it.
Oh my God! Only David would try to intertwine.
Dave being Dave,
he got to be in there somewhere.
All right, Cop, who you got, man?
Well, I mean, obviously it's Eli, but I'm look. See, David, I've had to be careful about what I've had to say about this. but in my opinion, and I've watched a lot of quarterback play. Phil Simms, Hostetler, Danny Cannell, Kent Graham, Kerry Collins, Jesse Palmer. I mean, I've watched a lot of, I've read a lot of Giants history. Daniel has the tools to be the most talented of them all.
Trying to tell
I mean, I have to be careful because like he can make all the throws Eli can make, and on top of it, he runs 10,000 times better. So it's obviously Eli is the answer because Daniel doesn't have the mention, like he doesn't have the awards, the accolades. But it is very frustrating because when you look at all the quarterback play, it's like Daniel's got all the talent that he's got more talent than anybody's ever had. I mean, our best scrambler probably in history was probably Fran Tarkenton, but at that time he was an older man. But it's like, Eli's is the answer. But damn. I'm with David. Like DJ could be that dude.
Loving this shit right now. David is loving this shit.
I'm with you, David. I'm 1,000% with you.
I'm not crazy, dog. Man. I'm not crazy.
I don't think you're crazy. I honestly don't, man. I don't think you're crazy, man. I don't.
All right, so I think next is running back. Listen.
Let me go first.
Go ahead, Go ahead. Running back.
But I believe in a 2-back system. So I need David Wilson and I need Brandon Jacobs. That's it.
Okay. David Wilson. Okay. There's a lot of All right. I'm gonna rock with it. Now, why? Talk to me behind that David Wilson pick. Why David Wilson?
So a healthy David Wilson, we all know how explosive he is. If he hits the corner untouched, that's 6. He was a dynamic punt returner. Now you bring in Brandon Jacobs to beat up on everybody. Now you got to chase David Wilson, bruh.
Okay. Oh, yeah, look,
Turbo was really talented though. He ain't wrong about that part. He was very talented, and
it was
the fastest
unfortunate
running back I ever seen on him. That injury really is sad because he could have really been something, man. I really truly believe that.
All right, go ahead, Jorge. You got next then, man. Who you got at running back?
All right. So I'm glad Dave said 2-back system because I got a tie because I couldn't choose between the two because one of them is a little bit of an emotional choice and the other is the obvious choice. The obvious choice is Tiki Baller. That's obvious choice to me. Tiki has all the records. That 5-year span towards the end of his career was the best I ever seen a running back on the Giants have. I mean, he was everything. And mind you, at that time, we were actually starting to transition from being that run every 3 downs and a cloud of dust offense to the modern way they play offense in time. And he could do it all. He ran the ball, caught the ball, was an excellent blitz pickup. And Coughlin helped him with the fumble problem later. So, Tiki is the obvious answer to me. Now, the other one is because when I was growing up as a kid, he was one of my favorites. And at that time, that was when the Giants were terrible. They were terrible. Dave Brown, Kent Graham, Danny Kent, all of those years, it was bad. Cop know what I'm talking about. I see him smiling over there. Yeah. Rodney Hampton. That was my guy. I mean, you talk about being the only guy on offense and the defenses on the other team knew what was coming. Running on first down to Hampton. Running on second down to Hampton. Oh, it's third and short? We're going to give it to Hampton. Oh, it's third and long? We'll see if we can get him open in the flat. It was like that. And Rodney was one of those dudes. He was going to the Pro Bowl, putting up numbers, and he was all we had. He was all we had at that time. The Cowboys kicking our ass every week. It was crazy. It was crazy, and that was my guy. I always wanted him in that Pro Bowl when the Pro Bowl meant something to watch at that time. I always look forward to seeing him in there. And, as an emotional thing, I think Rodney Hampton is one of my favorites.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
Rodney, bro.
Listen, I've already put out a video of my favorite Giants of all time. Look, and let me just say this, man. If Saquon Barkley didn't go out the way he went out, he would be on this list. I'm going to just be real. but there is no possible way that he is on this list for me. There's just no way. So I'm gonna set that to the side. But I did have to keep it real with y'all and just say, look, he ran across my mind. So he would have he would have really been a part of that 2-back system that y'all say. But look, man, my number one is Tiki Barber, and I have to say Tiki, and I hate to be so cliche with it, but I got introduced to football when Tiki Barber was the running back, and I'm a twin brother, so I had that childhood of me acting like Tiki, and my brother was acting like Rondé. You know what I mean?
Right. Makes sense.
You know, and I'm from Virginia. New York is my second home, and so with just all those things, man, that you intertwine, I was always a big, Tiki Barber guy, man. So I'm gonna just keep it there, man. Cop, who you got?
Well, I was going to say, Jorge, I had, of course, when I was a kid, I had those, they, have those like football outfit kind of things where you get like the helmet, you get the jersey. I had a Giants one when I was a kid, but my first legitimate New York Giants jersey was a Rodney Hampton jersey. That was my first one. I had the white Rodney Hampton jersey. My big ass wouldn't be able to fit it today, but I had that was my first jersey. But man, I'm gonna tell you what, if people think I'm bad about Daniel Jones, they should have seen me about Tiki Barber, because I would die. That Tiki Barber, man, that's a hill I would die on every day of the week, man. Tiki's probably one of my favorite New York Giant players of all time. I couldn't stand the beef that him and Eli had. It just tore me to pieces. I hate the biggest regret as a fan that I have about the 07 Super Bowl, 07-08 Super Bowl, was the fact that Tiki wasn't a part of it. I hated that. I wanted him to go out the same way Strahan went out. But no, Tiki Barber, man, for me, like I'd ride that train every day of the week, man. That was one of my favorites, and I don't take no Tiki Barber slander, man. That's always. That's all. That man could slap me in my face, and I tell him I still love him. You know what I'm saying? So
he should be in the Hall of Fame too. Let's talk about
man,
that.
He really should.
I seen Les get in. Tiki should be in that Hall of Fame. Just saying. I
met Tiki Barber at the NFL draft one time, and I went and took a picture with him and talked to him for a bit, and I thanked him for everything he did for the Giants. I couldn't believe I was actually bigger than him. I was a little bit taller than him, and which really surprised me, because I'm not a big dude by any means. I'm just right at 6 foot. But man, to be his size and to be as good as he was, and that really is impressive, man, to look back on. Because, NFL, you go to NFL games, man, them are some big dudes, like big boys, big old boy. And so it's like, man, Tiki was impressive, man. He was great. And what's great about Tiki is, he came in as a special teamer and found his way to being an every down back. And so his story is great. I always supported his brother just because of the fact that he was Tiki's brother. And so I love Tiki Barber, man. I always will.
Listen, there was a time, actually my son's very first football game, we was able to get access to be on the field. And while we were on the field was really when things were in perspective for me, man, because I was standing right next to Justin Fields, and that dude, man, like his arms were huge, and I'm like, yo, this is just a quarterback right here.
No.
And I was just like, man, that really puts it in perspective. And even when you think about Tiki, man, he played physical ball. He was somebody, he'll run your ass over as good as
he's 5'10" at best.
Which is wild. So with wide receivers, I think we agreed to doing four wide receivers. I ain't gonna lie, David. Your list got me the most interested, so I'm gonna just start with you, just to see where you gonna go with this thing, man.
Let's get it, Dave.
I got Odell, Steve Smith, Hakeem Nicks, and Amani Tuner.
Okay. Steve Smith. That was a shocker. There's a lot of names.
Hey, my man's a dog. Don't sleep on Steve Smith. I'm talking about someone that's gonna catch the ball. That's the man. I'm going after functionality. I'm trying to win these games, bro. That's it.
All right, so look, my list is you said a couple names. My list is Odell Beckham, Amani Toomer, Victor Cruz, and Plexico Burress. Real cliche like, man. You know, my list is simple. Odell Beckham, we know what that was. We know what that time was like.
Yep.
You know what he did for the Giants. I don't care where he goes. I need everybody to understand that Odell Beckham, New York Giant, was the greatest Odell Beckham that you were able to see.
That's a fact.
And then when it comes to Amani Toomer, I mean, Mr. Reliable, that goes without saying. He was also the receiver that, you know, when I got introduced to football, it was Amani Toomer. Plexico Burress, that also is a Virginia thing. He's from Virginia. So I ain't gonna lie, there's a little biasness when it comes to that. But like Cop said earlier, man, when you want to talk about, you know, our Super Bowl run, he was a huge part of that, man. And my greatest moment ever as a New York Giant fan for me was when he finished it off and he caught that touchdown to seal the game. Yes, sir. And who am I forgetting? Victor Cruz. Victor Cruz, man, I just have an appreciation for Victor Cruz because he wasn't supposed to be there. You know, he was Mr. Underrated, man. He was somebody who was just trying to get on the roster and then end up being the number one target at one point. So Victor Cruz, you know, will forever be goated in my book as far as the Giants' history is concerned. Jorge, who you got?
Well, I'm gonna say number one, Plexico Burress, and Cop said it earlier. He transformed Eli into another level. What he did when he came, see, a lot of people, you know, they don't know what it is at that time as a Giant fan. We just was transitioning to becoming a modern day offense on the Fossil, you know. And Plexico, when he joined the team along with Shockey, they actually and Tiki, that was our triplets right there. And Plexico took Eli to another level when Coughlin was there, of course, obviously. And without Plexico doing what he did, owning the Eagles, let's get into that. He owned the Eagles. He owned them. He owned them. There was nothing. They tried everything, and with everything they had, they could not stop that man. Yes, Plexico Burress. Yes, in 2008, he hurt our chance to repeat when he did that and shot himself in the leg. But you can't take away what he meant to this organization. And when he came out of jail, I was hoping the Giants would have brought him back, even though he chose the Jets. But, you know, still, Plexico Burress, definitely on that. Odell, greatest rookie season receiver ever had. Got to put him there. You know, I hate the way he left, but Odell in his prime as a Giant, it's tough to compete with what he was. You know, he was everything. Scored touchdowns. Everyone knew what was coming, and he was the dog. He was the guy. You know, 2016, he had a tremendous year. You know, helped us get to the playoffs. Wish he would have played better in that playoff game, but that's a story for another day. But he was tremendous as a Giant. Tremendous. Okay, no one can say that. Also, third on my list, Victor Cruz. Best slot receiver. I mean, what he brought out of, like you said earlier, like he came out of nowhere. You know, people forget in that 2011 season, we had guys like Stokely coming in, getting tryouts, you know, because we kind of didn't know what we had with Cruz. He kind of was like struggle in the beginning trying to get the offense down. But when he got it, man, he took off and he had a tremendous year, man. Tremendous year. It's, to me, had one of the most underrated receiver years of anybody in this era.
Yup.
I mean, we won a Super Bowl with him as just a beast, man. He was a beast. He was a beast to this day. Him being that slot receiver, the dynamic ability that he had to take a 5-yard pass, take it 70 yards. That's something Giant fans are not used to having with receivers, man. And before Odell came, Victor Cruz showed that for us. We saw that with Odell down the road, but Cruz was really the first guy to do that for us. And a lot of people don't talk about that. And he got us a ring doing that. And my last
right now we on the same page, man. Right now.
Yep. I got one more though.
Okay.
Hakeem Nicks.
Okay.
Hakeem Nicks. I just feel like that little span from about, I would say like 2011 to 2010, 2011, 2012, whatever. He was a beast too, man. He was a beast. I mean, he would go up there, catch balls with them hands. I mean, it was everything, man. I like him, and that tandem with him and Cruz was really good. And I love that for us, man. I really feel like he need a little more respect on this list.
There we go. Copizzle.
I'm gonna say, well, first and foremost, I'm gonna give a shout out to Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Yes, he was part of the Super Bowl tournament. I've actually made friends with him thanks to online friends with him thanks to YouTube. So shout out to him. But Plaxico to me is the greatest Giants receiver of all time. No question about it to me. I'd put him up against anybody. For me, number 2 is Hakeem Nicks. I love Hakeem Nicks. I love the pick by Horton. Yeah, I like that too. Hakeem Nicks for sure. I'll put OBJ on there. I'll do it. I'm not that I'm reluctant. It's just I'll put OBJ. I mean, he was a great receiver. I still think that Plaxico doesn't get enough credit for how great he was.
Right.
I understand he was a Steeler before he was a Giant. I got all that, but
that's kind of what he was for me.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Plaxico has always been number 1 to me. Hakeem Nicks, OBJ. Number 4 is really tough for me. I got to be honest. That's a really, really tough. That's tough for me because deep down inside, I want to say Amani Toomer. I want to say it. That's what my heart says, but my brain says Victor Cruz. And so I think the answer is Victor Cruz. I don't hate the Steve Smith. I don't hate that. That's not a bad call. I think Victor was a little bit better. Amani did it for an extended period of time too. I think I'm going to go Victor Cruz just for the sake of a slot purpose. But I would say that's probably my 4.
Okay. I love it.
4 is tough. That's tough, man. I gotta be honest. It's tough.
It is. I struggled with Toomer too, Cop. I did.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, he's the GOAT. He's got all the Giant records, but it's just
I used to love Ike Hilliard. I want to talk about shout out to Ike Hilliard. I loved Ike Hilliard. So yeah, man, that's tough. 4's tough.
Yeah.
And then we are going to go offensive line. Jorge made sure that I didn't
no tight end.
You want to go tight end next?
Yeah, okay, why not?
All right, let's do tight end next. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Hey, no. Wow, that's crazy. I was about to say no Shockey here, but no shock, shock factor here. Jeremy Shockey, man. That's it. I'm gonna just leave it at that, man. That should be understood right there, man. So
I'm taking Shockey.
Okay. Who you got, Jorge?
Yeah, I'm taking Shockey. It was tough because I wanted to put Bavaro, but Shockey, man, I had his jersey, everything. Like the impact that he showed. Again, I go back to at that time, Giants were transitioning into that modern day offense, the way the NFL was scoring points at that time, and he was a big part of that. Him, Kerry Collins, who can forget his debut in that preseason game when he trucking running dudes over on the Texans? That right there, it showed me right there. Fact. I was a fan we got one. Fact. We got one.
Fact. That is a super fact. Copizzle.
Well, to add to Shockey, when Eli did show up, Shockey played very much like an enforcer. Whereas Eli wasn't vocal. I always got a great laugh watching Shockey and Manning play together because Eli wouldn't make a lot of facial expressions, and you could just see Shockey saying something to him, raising his voice, and Eli's just like, yeah, just like just calm as can be, and Shockey's a high strung individual. Man, I love Jeremy Shockey, man. To me, that's one of my favorite Giants of all time too. I'm with you on Jorge. Like Bavaro is definitely can't sleep on Bavaro. Howard Crofts was another one that was a good one too. Yeah. But man, I love Jeremy Shockey, man. To me, I take Jeremy Shockey all day long.
Yes, sir.
There we go. And last and certainly not least, we have our offensive line. So you have center, left and right guard, and then our two tackles. Hey, I'll let you go first on this one, man. Who you got?
All right, well, my left tackle, Jumbo Elliott. Jumbo Elliott was a part of that offensive line under the Parcells time, would always protect Sims, tremendous road grader. He was one of those guys that just was like, he was kind of humble. He didn't say much, but he did his job and he did it well. Always reliable, really good left tackle. I feel like at that time, see, when I was growing up as a kid being a Giant fan, he was that offensive line. They used to run dudes over all the time, man. At that era. So Jumbo Elliott for sure, left tackle for me. Right tackle, Kareem McKenzie. A lot of people underrate this man. I really don't understand. Kareem McKenzie. And when I say underrate, Kareem McKenzie is one of the best free agents that the Giants have ever had. And at that time, free agency was still kind of like not a great thing in Giants law. Like they didn't really go too hard on free agency. Kareem McKenzie, when they signed him from the Jets and put him at right tackle, durable, got it done. Just a good player, man. Just solid, steady all the time. Never got enough respect, in my opinion. I love Kareem McKenzie as a right tackle for this Giant team, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So, or at center, I'm going to have to go Sean O'Hara. I was going to go Bart Oates, but I love Sean O'Hara too, man, because, maybe it's recency bias. I don't know. But Sean O'Hara was really good, man. He really completed the offensive line in the Eli era when he came over. He really solidified things in the middle and was just steady, was really good at what he did, man. So I got Sean O'Hara there. Left guard, William Roberts. Roberts for me. Roberts. Okay. Another one of those guys from back in the 80-90 era, early 90s era, Super Bowl Parcell team. William Roberts was really good, man. He was a really steady player, durable, just road grader. He did what he did. Like everyone knew at that time, the Giants were running that ball. Guys like Jumbo Elliott and William Roberts, they handled their business up front again against those tough Eagle teams with Reggie White and these guys, Clyde Simmons, all these guys. Washington, when Washington was actually good, they were a tough out. We all know. So I got William Roberts there, man. And that right guard might be a little shocking. I got Seibert, man. I love Richie Seibert, man. The versatility this man had coming back after he broke his leg, they thought his career was over. Man, when he had his leg shot at that time. He came back, just a versatile player, man. He played all over the place. Guard, center. I remember him playing a couple of games at center when O'Hara got hurt a couple of times. And his versatility and his workmanlike ethic, I just loved him, man. I just thought putting him on this list felt right. So I got him there too.
I'm with you, David. Talk to him.
To be honest, y'all, I ain't had that much experience with good offensive linemen in my lifetime. I'm only 30, so I don't really have that many good options. But I'm gonna just go off base of what I've seen. So I'm gonna say AT, Who's my man? Oh my gosh, I'm really drawing a blank. I had a whole list. Chris Nee and my other man, David Deal. That's all I know. That's all I know, y'all. And fill in the other two spots. So I'm gonna let y'all have the offensive line.
I'm with you. Hey, so for me, at left tackle, I got Eric Flowers. Nah, I'm bullshit.
Oh yeah, cut the string because we gotta start over. You tripping?
I'm bullshit. I got Andrew Thomas as well, man. I think when it's all said and done, we're gonna really have to talk about him being one of the best that ever do it.
For sure.
I think Sean O'Hara is just necessary. When we talk about these Super Bowl runs that we've had, you really got to break down key pieces into what made it that.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Pugh at right tackle, that's my dog. And then at guard, I'm gonna go with Chris Nee. And that's my list, man. I'm gonna keep it there, nice and simple. You know what I mean? Nothing too fancy. Ollie Jackson says the entire 86 O-line.
You know what's it's funny. I was going to say those late 80 Giant teams, man. Those guys need some shout outs too, man. They were, of course. I mean, Jorge mentioned Jumbo. That's a good one. That's a good one, Jorge. That's a good one.
Yes,
man, for me, it's funny. Man, this is tough too, man. This is like the fourth Giants receiver. It's crazy to say it in the moment, but like it honestly might be history right here in front of us because Andrew Thomas could end up being the greatest left tackle the Giants have ever seen. I mean, we could be watching history right in front of us, and that's what's great is as a Giants fan, you never know. We got 100-year history here, right? You're wearing the jersey, David. That's what I'm saying. So it's crazy to think like in 100 years we might be watching the best left tackle that the Giants ever seen. Completely agree with Hoyt. Kareem McKenzie deserves his flowers. He was a fantastic right tackle. Would love him. I think Chris Nee is somebody who definitely needs to get, Chris Nee needs to be up there as far as one of the best guards that we've ever had. I thought he was fantastic for the Giants. I love the Sean O'Hara pick. I like that too. That's tough, man. That's a really tough. I mean, if you went all 100 years, I mean, I'm kind of like the reason I hate the question is because you can't help but have recency biased.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't help but have it. It's like, man, some of them guys are. Yeah, I mean, you forget about like Jumbo, for example. Like he was a monster. Like that's the reason why that team was one of the reasons why that team's so good, and that's why like I hope this team ends up being good because we got Andrew Thomas. But yeah, I mean you guys kind of covered a lot of really good names, honestly. Now that I think about it, but man, I couldn't imagine putting together 100-year-long team list of who is the 5 dudes that I'd want in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's honestly I wish we could argue about shit like that.
Right.
Then you know what I'm saying in the court, like that's a thing that could keep content going for a long time. Is trying to figure out who is the best offensive lineman for the Giants of all time. Some of those guys, like Thomas. I used to like Luke Pettigrew. Like I thought he was I thought he was good. Shit, man, that's so hard. That's such a hard question.
That's why I love it, man. I love it, and that's
a hard question. I mean, it really is. Lomas Brown.
Put that in there. TP.
Like Lomas Brown wasn't bad. Shit. That was a good. Like I mean, yeah. I mean. That's tough. Look. No, that's tough, man. That's honestly tough.
That's exactly why I wanted to put offensive line on this list here, man, because we can't forget about the big guys.
Like, I know we're not talking about this, right? Just I know you guys said but I want to give you guys a name, not the offensive line, but a defensive lineman that I used to absolutely love, and I don't hear anybody bring his name up anymore. It was Keith the Hammer Hamilton. I used to love Keith Hamilton back in the day, and he doesn't get any. You never hear him. You never hear you never hear anybody talk about him. But especially, now that we got Dex Lawrence could end up being like the best D tackle we've ever had. But man, Keith Hamilton, he needs his flowers too.
That's actually a spoiler, Kyle, because next week I was gonna put him on my list.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying there's so many great Giants that people forget about because there are some that are above and beyond, right? And so those late 80 teams, it's tough, when you think about Carl Banks, obviously LT, you like I always say that, people ask me like, who's your favorite Giant? And I want to say Eli, but deep down inside it's LT. Like that's my dog, that's my dude.
Yes, sir.
Love that. All right, so listen, man, that's why
Peter Christian,
I loved it. I love this question because even anytime you are around Giant fans, or you know what, even if you whatever fans, I like to just go down memory lane for a little bit, and at the end, if you're having this conversation with someone who is a fan of a rival or something like that, y'all get to kind of like say, okay, whose team do you believe was stronger? You know what I mean?
Right.
I like these conversations to hear the different names, man. Jorge, he's our OG in this NYG lieutenant thing, man. So when he speaks and he brings up some names, me and David is just like taking it all in, man. And
y'all was making me question my fandom. I'm like, I don't know who none of these people are.
Well, the great thing about being a Giants fan, and we got so much history, is history for the Giants organization has repeated itself multiple times. When you look at the Super Bowls, they rallied those in a 4-year span in Super Bowl 21 and 25. And then they did it in 42 and 46. And, we've had the history of Phil Simms. We've had the history of Eli, both being almost benched. And that's why the Daniel Jones thing doesn't throw me off. That doesn't make me get me all twisted, because I've seen this happen before. I've seen this turmoil. I've seen us have, guys like him. And the thing about the Giants organization is stability. They don't want to make a lot of changes. They're very conservative in nature. And so it's not a good thing for us to be firing coaches. We want Bill Parcells and Tom Coughlin to last a long time. That's what we want. I think, like coaches too. It's like, who's the greatest coach of all time? You kind of think Parcells, but then you could make the argument Coughlin's in there. That's what's great about rooting on the Giants is it's rich in history, and there's a lot of legacy there, and there's a lot of history, and there's a lot of great discussions that you could have, other than just talking about Daniel Jones. You know what I'm saying? So, man,
not with me.
He said, not with me. All right, man. So look, on that note, man, we are going to wrap it up. Please make sure you do your due diligence and like, comment, and subscribe. I say this all the time. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And so, I got a lot of work to do, but I know I'm going to get it. And I need the Giant fans that is real, that is ready for this content, to make sure that y'all subscribe. Also, Born for Sports, Jorge, I'll let you say your piece.
Yes, sir. Yo, just give me some love out there. Subscribe to Born for Sports, BORN, 4 SPORTZ. Listen, we doing big things on this show. We just taking off, so just show some love. And it was a pleasure, Cop. Thanks for coming through, man. It was a good chat with you, man, for real.
Most definitely, David.
You got it.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? So just follow me at the Giant Way on most platforms. On Instagram, it's a little bit different, but if you type in the Giant Way, you should be able to find me. If y'all looking for something funny, just something that's gonna make y'all laugh, definitely follow me on TikTok because I'm on there clowning all day. And yeah, man, appreciate you, Cop. Sorry for me showing up late. So hopefully next time I get a full conversation with you. But it was definitely dope talking to you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And again, man, I mean, we've said it all, and I'm gonna say it just another time, man. I definitely appreciate you, Copizzle, man. You definitely are an inspiration to a lot of the, whether they say it or not. I know, so I'm gonna say it for you. You're an inspiration to a lot of guys out here, man. That's trying to push their content and do their thing, man. And again, I just appreciate you for giving us your time, man.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me. I'm getting ready to start my 18th year being on YouTube and rocking the Giants. I came on here as a 21-year-old kid. Wow. I love rooting on the Giants. I love meeting guys like y'all, man, like just that have the same passion, have the same love. You know, it's like David, you know, he's saying he's just starting, man. Your Giants fanhood got to start somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And where you carry it, you know, we all have that's what's great too, is like, you know, you have a lot of young Giant fans now, you know, and they're like, hey, old man, you know, you need to you can learn from the old dudes, because we've seen it all. Like we've seen multiple. I get it. Like if you a young cat, you know, you in your teenage years, and you've just seen a lot of Eli Manning and Daniel Jones. But man, I've seen a lot of bad quarterback play in my lifetime rocking with the Giants, right? I remember the original number 10, you know, Kent Graham wearing number 10 out there. I remember watching Dave Brown wearing number 17 out there. So like there was some really bad years for the Giants, and it can always be worse. But I appreciate you guys having me on. It's great, you know, keep at it. I wish you guys well on your channels. Go get that 1,000 subs, man. Don't get too caught up in the numbers, man. Like when I first started making videos, I was getting, you know, 10 views a video, and I thought I was somebody. You know, I thought I was somebody. Just getting 10 views. I thought, oh man, I'm somebody. Man, you just gotta keep plugging away, man. The audience will come, the fan, you know, just be you, just be authentic, and it'll happen, man. It is what it is.
Hey, Cop, I just want to say one more thing, Cop. Next time you ever come to a game, man, let me know, man. Come chop it over Section 332.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll definitely make a video. I'll put it out there that I'm coming, kind of deal. It won't be a secret by any means.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
I just got to finish on this because
you bogus. You're wrong for that.
Exactly. That's what I'll be telling my son, David. That's David's pops right there.
Yeah, that's my pops.
So that's dope. That's dope. So on that
note, pops raised you right. Then, if you a Giants fan, he did a good job.
That's that legacy you talking about. That's that love.
Yeah, got to, baby.
Hold on. What we have here? I think we need to cook something up before we exit stage left, man. Hold on.
I know what that means.
Yeah.
Look, he already talking nonsense.
Hey, let him get his spill. Hey, let him get his spill off. Let him get his spill off.
Get on that here. Get this ass whooping real quick before I go.
Hey, listen, man. I sat there for an hour and some change, and then listened to four people agree with everything everybody said, man. There wasn't no bullshit in that tape. There wasn't no cap.
What was the bullshit?
All right, look, this was the biggest one right here. I heard dudes sit here and say, Daniel Jones, y'all asked for his expectations about this year. And somebody mentioned Super Bowl, and nobody said, nah, not this year, not nothing.
What are we supposed to say?
Right. What are you are complacent with your team not going
maybe
to the Super Bowl?
the truth might set you free, but
see, that's hey, look, this is why we do history lessons for guys like you. We always go to the Super Bowl when we're not supposed to. You don't know that about us?
Listen.
You don't know that about us?
Michael Strahan had 20 sacks, bro. Y'all defense got y'all there, B. Y'all talking about a team. Man, y'all are no, sir.
Okay, what happened in 2011? Tell me about 2011.
Tell good defense. It was still the same front four.
How many yards did Eli pass for? How many touchdowns, dude?
Now, don't do that. Don't do that.
No. But I'm saying
I don't know Eli's
about
stats.
the defense, right? Okay. Now, what was the
I don't know
defense
Eli's
rank?
stats.
Wait,
If I ask you some Washington, if I ask you some
what was the
Washington
defense rank that year, bro? What was the defense rank that year, bro?
Bro, listen.
Don't answer me though.
Don't ask me Giants stats like I'm a know.
The ranking of the defense, bro.
Was they or were they not a top 10 offense? I mean defense.
Hella low.
We're talking about Michael Strahan and Justin Tuck.
Not that year. 2011, they were not. They were ranked. They were not. They were ranked 27th, my dude. They were injured. 27. Do you know how many yards that Eli passed for that year? How much yards did Eli pass for that year?
I'm a fact checker, so I ain't tripping off of that.
Okay, I got the facts for you right here. You don't even got to go do it.
Okay,
4,933 yards, my guy. 29 touchdowns. Broke the record in fourth quarter comebacks.
How was that helping y'all this year? Listen. How was that helping y'all this year?
Russian attack.
How was that helping y'all this year? Y'all sat here and talking about Malik Nabers like he was a generational talent or something like that.
Let's talk about the hold on. Let's talk about the Redskins. What?
All right. The Commanders, get it right.
Okay, Commanders, Redskins, get it right. Whatever. Let's talk about the Commanders.
Yo, can y'all beat us though?
What is your expectations for them? Honestly,
my expectations.
Good question, David.
My expectations for the Commanders this year.
Yes.
Oh, at highest, they'll make the playoffs. Get good quarterback play. See what our team is. We got a lot of one-year deals out there. Everybody playing for a contract. We got the most salary cap in the league. We ain't doing too much, but the ceiling that y'all see for us is the same one the rest of the league see for us. Our ceiling is up there. Our ceiling is up there. Don't get it twisted. Because that quarterback y'all was talking about, that's the one y'all coach wanted. That's the one y'all owner wanted. So y'all can talk about Malik Nabers and all this. Malik Nabers won't fit without Jaden Daniels.
Malik Nabers is already better than McLaurin right now.
Hold on.
You see, that's why I came up here. That's why I came up here.
I guarantee you.
That's why I came up here to call y'all on y'all full drive. That's why I came up here. You gonna say Malik Nabers better than a 4-time 1,000-yard receiver?
He will be.
Okay, well, hey, listen, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. You're a Giant fan. You can believe that. But let's not be, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, McLaurin is high. He's high. He's high. But let's not overrate him like he's like a top 5 receiver. Listen.
This is what I'm saying. And I never said he was top 5. I never said it. Y'all sat here. Listen, because y'all logic, it contradicts everything y'all say. Y'all can sit here and say, oh, DJ didn't have an O-line. He ain't had nobody to throw to. He had a horrible coaching staff. But when Terry got a bum quarterback, a fifth-string quarterback that was unsigned. When he got to work this offensive line in the league, he got the most sacks since 2000. What? I don't know what. There's no excuse for that. So, but when it's Giants fans in the room, you can make excuses for
no. Listen. We're not saying Terry is not good. He's good.
No, I ain't saying that. No. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying with y'all logic and y'all mindset and the excuses y'all were making for Daniel Jones. If y'all applied that to Terry, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Terry can't throw himself the ball.
No shit. That's what I'm saying.
And Daniel Jones can't catch the ball for himself either. So what are we talking about?
That Terry is still putting up 1,000 yards. We're not having this conversation about Terry if he's going to be on the team next year.
You know what's right?
Without throwing him the ball, without no offensive line, he's putting up 1,000 yards every season.
This is what I want.
Quarterback. He's going to play quarterback plus he's going to get 1,000 yards.
Everybody clear out.
You know what I like about this? Is that we get to see this. We get to see this week 2. Week 2, we get to find out.
Week 3, baby. Week 3.
No, it's week 3. Week 3.
Week 3, baby.
Is it week 3?
Yes, week 3.
And so there ain't gonna be no injury. There should be any.
Daniels is going to be sacked 5 times from the Giants.
I thought we played them week 2.
Yeah, I think we got the Browns.
No, it's week 2. It's week 2.
You sure it's week 2?
5 times.
That's even better.
5 times.
That's even better because there shouldn't be no injury. You should have Jaden Daniels. You should have Scary Terry. We should have Daniel Jones. We should have Malik Nabers. And we're going to find out. Like
so it's going to be that. Come back in this, and I'm going to come up here. Can we all come back in this week?
Absolutely. I'll sign up right now. I'll sign the dotted line right now.
We are going to stomp the Commanders.
Copizzle's coming back for week 2.
1,000%.
In the Giants. Let's go.
Hey, and low key, bro, you need 3 more people with you. Us 4.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I'm telling you.
No, I don't.
Listen.
No, I don't.
Let's be honest. You know it. We know it. Everyone know it. Giants.
We know what.
They always beat y'all. How do you this cocky and y'all always lose?
If there's one team,
okay, cool. Like I said, cool. Listen, I'm humble. I know Daniel Jones can ball. I never called Daniel Jones a bum. You didn't hear me say that. I know Daniel Jones can ball. He's nice. I'm gonna give it to you. I fuck with Daniel Jones, but the Giants, y'all beat us because we were trash. We beat ourselves. We tied once, and the year before that we split. I'm not trying to hear
let me
that.
ask you a question. Do you feel like the Giants roster is actually better this year than last year? Healthy.
Listen, I feel like y'all are completely better than last year, but I feel like we are 10 times better than we were last year. Y'all forgetting about Bobby Wagner. He was just
how did you guys get better?
How so?
How did you get better?
How do we get better? Pause. Let me tell you. Give me just a second. What about Bobby Wagner? You know who Bobby Wagner is? I'm sure you do. You like football. You might know a little bit
the guy that's
about
going to try
you might know a little bit about Frankie
receivers.
Luvu and Jeremy Chin. You might know them guys. You might know Mike Sandersfield from Michigan, the one that Bill Belichick called the best player in the draft. You might know them guys. You might know Dan Quinn, a defensive minded, or Joe Witt that got them boys over there in Dallas getting 10 picks a season. Yeah, just a little bit of stuff.
So
a little bit of stuff to tell you how we got better.
Hold on, Jorge. Let me ask you this. These two things, right? Because we want to match strengths and weaknesses with strengths. So my two things. What corners do you have? And what have you done on the offensive line?
It's going to be a field day.
I'm going to tell you. We just brought in Mike Davis from the Chargers, the starting corner there. We still got St. Juice. And Emmanuel Forbes got the third corner this year. So time out. We picked up Tyler Biadasz from Dallas, the starting center from Dallas. That'll draw the starting center from Dallas, Tyler Badass. We picked him up. Yeah.
And he's gonna do what? Because Dex is the man.
Dex is gonna eat this man alive. You do
so
know
what he gonna do?
Do y'all know we have an a top 5, top 10 guard in the league in Sam Cosby?
Okay, so then what you gonna do with Brian Burns? So you got those two on decks, but what you gonna do with Brian Burns?
You do know this Giant defensive line is different this time.
Hold on, let him answer. Let him answer.
Look, I gotta pick a screen. Let him answer. Because he's going Brian Burns too. I like Brian Burns too. But listen, this is what y'all fail to realize. When your offensive line was bad as it was last year, it can't get any worse. It can't get any worse than we played y'all twice.
You didn't improve your offensive line. So it's stagnant.
Our offensive line got better. I'm telling you that. So it can't get any worse, and it got better.
You don't let your starting
center
go.
And we dealt with a lot of coverage sacks. That's what y'all fail to realize. Hold the ball.
Don't let your starting center go.
Do you know why it could get? You know why it could get worse?
And bro, we had Nick Gates came from y'all.
And what happened? We let him go. What happened? Y'all got another center. Y'all have another center now.
That was last year. That's what I'm saying.
Look. You know why it could get worse? It's because when we played y'all, we had Kayvon Thibodeau whipping ass. Now it's gonna be Brian Burns on the other side whipping ass. It's gonna be Dexter Lawrence whipping ass. It's gonna be Isaiah Simmons whipping ass. It's gonna be Bobby Okereke whipping ass. It's gonna be everybody combined as one, just taking their turns. So
what do you think y'all? So listen, what do you think y'all O-line gonna do with us? We just brought in Bobby and Frankie, and we brought in Doris Armstrong and Cleveland Farrell.
How many years Bobby Wagner's been in the league, bro?
Y'all just walked through us last year. Like, yo,
you
said Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner, how many years he been in the league?
My man is.
Do y'all know he led the league in tackles last year? Do y'all know he was an All-Pro?
Somebody got to make the tackles, right?
Do you know he was an All-Pro last year?
He's
okay.
So don't bring up Wagner. Y'all lost a running back and bought into Montgomery. Y'all lost a tight end and brought in nobody. So when we're talking about the linebackers, we got that edge. We got that edge. Y'all talking linebackers.
First of all,
none of your linebackers can cover our tight end.
It's not that we didn't bring in no one at tight end. Okay, first of all, Bellinger's already got experience. We went to the playoffs as our starter. That's number one. Okay, and he's still young. Number two, we drafted Theo Johnson. Okay. You're going to hear some big things before the season's over about that kid. Mark my words.
I mean, it would make sense if you would bring up better guys than my guys that you're saying. Because you're talking about
I'm just answering.
I forgot we brought in Zach Ertz.
We don't have no tight end. I'm just responding.
Zach Ertz.
Okay.
Behind Ben Sinnott from Kansas State. Whoa. You know who Ben Sinnott is from Kansas State?
Sinnott, you said? Yeah, he's all right. All right, but let's
So let's not act like y'all playing the same Washington team. It's a different coaching staff. It's different ownership.
This sounds way worse. This
It's
team
different
sounds way
everything.
worse.
Bro, this sounds like
I'm just being honest.
Man, you started PTSD as an owner. You just like, please be better. We're gonna be better. You're talking yourself into that. You know damn well that Washington cannot beat the Giants, and they're gonna be last again.
We
get
can't
into
beat the Giants because y'all swept us one time.
Bro, y'all
The
got
last time we watched the game
doo-doo
together, we
leaking
beat
from
y'all.
y'all
And a
stadium.
year after that, we tied. Like, what are you talking about? Y'all don't remember tying at the end of the year? Y'all not sweeping us every year? What's going on? We got swept us one time and y'all get amnesia.
One time?
Bro, y'all
we
have
just
doo-doo
split, bro.
leaking
What are you
from y'all
talking about?
stadium.
We just tied and y'all won one. Then the year before that, we split.
Bro.
Do you realize?
Even
do
when
you realize
we had
that
Joe Judge, we were smacking y'all. Are you serious?
Do you realize that y'all are the organization that ruined the fact that this division could have been in the history books, where you had every team to make the playoffs, and it was y'all.
No, we couldn't. It was between us two. It was whoever lost won't go make it.
No, y'all could have.
It was between us two. It was between the Giants and Washington. Whoever lost won't go make the playoffs, and y'all won. We had tied earlier that season.
That's always the end result.
Okay, let me ask you something. Who's going to cover Malik Nabers? Who's going to cover him?
Bro, listen. Why are y'all talking about this dude like he is?
Who's going to cover Jalen Hyatt?
Who's going to fix the pipes in the stadium? It's leaking doo-doo.
Because I know you're not dependent on that bust of a first-round pick, bro. That bust of a first-round pick corner who need to eat at least 10 times a day McDonald's to get some meat on them bones.
Bro,
I know
listen.
on him.
We're not worried about no
guys,
Malik
bro.
Nabers, bro. Listen, I promise you, we're not worried about Malik. We're more worried about Daniel Jones and his fast legs than we are Malik Nabers. That's what gets us. Him scrambling.
That's exactly what you got. That's exactly what we want you guys to do.
Hey, David, I'm glad you said it because that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm glad you said that. That's exactly what we want to
do that.
You in a mousetrap right now.
I'm not tripping.
All we waiting for is for week 2 for you to grab that cheese.
Who was your top corner last year that y'all got? What was his name?
You said that we got last year.
Or I think it was Fairley.
Dave, I think you talking about that bust, right? You talking about that bust?
Yeah. What was his name? That skinny guy?
Yeah.
You talking about Emmanuel Forbes? He third or fourth on the depth chart. Y'all think we might have split with that?
Okay. Yeah.
Nobody cares about that. That's he's third or fourth on the depth chart.
Right, but wasn't he a high pick?
Y'all still got to do with St. Juice. Y'all ain't doing that with St. Juice every year.
Wasn't he a high pick?
We just brought in Mike Davis.
Was he a high pick?
We just brought in Mike Davis. And Sam is still in the slot, so.
Was he a high pick?
Who?
The dude we talking about.
Emmanuel Forbes?
Yeah.
I mean, he was top 20.
First round, right?
Yeah.
I think he was
he's fourth on the depth chart?
I mean, I don't care, bro. That was last year.
I mean, that just says something about your whole team. Your development
I don't care
there.
about Emmanuel Forbes, to be honest with you, bro.
You
Trying to pick, I don't know what you're trying to pull out of me there. He's not. I didn't like the pick in the beginning, so
wasted
I don't
resources.
really care. But him on the third or fourth, and rather than him being on the number one wideout, I will take that.
So look, let's wrap it up on this. We all gonna be quiet. TJ, stay your last piece.
My last piece is, even if we don't make the playoffs, I bet my number we are better than y'all by far. I don't see y'all trending up. The ceiling for the Washington Commanders is up the fuck here. Y'all quarterback that y'all debating on what he gonna do this year is make it, break it, Y'all wanted our quarterback, B. Y'all didn't get him. If y'all would have got Jaden Daniels, he would be starting for y'all right now.
Can Jaden block?
Hold on. If y'all would have switched up to the second overall pick and got Jaden Daniels, would he or would he not be starting for y'all right now?
No.
Yeah,
because we made it clear.
We made it clear up that far for a QB and not start.
Listen. Why do y'all? This is what I can't stand about y'all who love to talk about this. Why do y'all love to take part? Why do y'all like
Love
to take
wasn't the
part of
second
the
overall
episode?
pick?
But listen, why do y'all like to take part of the episode and not the whole thing? He clearly
I
said
the whole thing. I commented. What you mean? I did all that.
He clearly said if Daniel Jones gets injured, then that's when we need him. He's a safety blanket. We need him to learn. We need him to stand behind Daniel Jones.
Bro, the Giants would have drafted a quarterback. He's not starting right away anyway because DJ would have been on the team. That's not wasn't going to happen. That's
his
not
contract is keeping him from starting for one.
Exactly. So
it's not happening, bro.
Because even when Daniel Jones was drafted here, he had to wait until they decided.
We're talking about the second. You tell me. Okay, listen. Take Giants out of the picture. Take Washington out of the picture. When was the last time a team traded up for the second or top 3 overall pick for a QB and they did not start?
So
I've
clearly,
never heard of it.
hold on. Clearly, you did not watch the episode because they went back through the last 10 years of first round picks and they were all duds.
I said traded up. That's not what I'm talking about. I said traded up and start. You moving
He's still a
goalposts.
first round pick. He's still a
You
first
moving
round
the
quarterback.
goalposts, bro.
Well, listen, you know
that's
why?
not what I asked.
So TJ, so listen, you know why they traded up? They traded up because of this. Next year, we're not going to have a top 6 pick. We're not planning on having a top 6 pick. So you're not going to get a quarterback next year. So why, if you have
you're not going to get a top 6 pick, that means you got good quarterback play. You're not going to need it then. Y'all are going to get a top 6 pick next year.
But that's what I'm telling you. You need somebody as a safety blanket. If you're going to first of all, I still don't even think we were serious about getting one, first of all. But just to entertain the conversation,
we
needed one as a safety blanket.
That's cap.
We couldn't get him
Malik
because
Nabers. We
top 3 teams were not going to trade.
They weren't moving out. So
y'all gonna sit here and act like we didn't watch the same episode? That's the Giants fan.
Those Shane wants y'all to think one thing, and the whole other time we on the whole other side just having a barbecue. That's how we do. Joe Shane.
All right, listen. Let's make a little friendly wager. After week 2, all of us got to agree to come up here, and either I got to get up here, give y'all props, shut up, and say everything y'all say, and vice versa. Because I'm gonna show an ass if we win. Best believe.
That's fair, baby. That's fair. I'm all in on that. And I do respect the fact you came by yourself to this. I respect that. But
I know my shit.
You're still wrong though, but I respect
I told you I don't need no backup.
That's debatable.
I ain't talking about myself. You see them niggas. You see them.
That's debatable.
You see them.
Who the boys in the back? I see a bunch of bums.
You see them.
Hey, look, so I do want to say this. Again. This is when we have the NFC East soldiers / roundtable thing. This is who represents the Commanders. Go look at the past videos.
Watch the videos.
I deal with this shit all the time.
I'm gonna make you believers. I'm gonna make all 4 of y'all believers.
Copizzle,
I'm gonna make all 4 of y'all believers.
Copizzle, anything you want to say to this man before we get up out of here?
I mean, like I do think Washington's going to be better. I mean, Dan Quinn can't be got to be better than Ron Rivera. I mean, he obviously took Atlanta to it. He took Atlanta to the Super Bowl. I think Jane Daniels is going to be okay, but I don't know if Washington's a good fit for Jane Daniels because in the end, I mean, Washington has failed multiple over the history of their organization. I mean, who's the greatest quarterback to ever QB Washington? Who is it? I mean,
Joe Theismann, a Hall of Famer.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that shit is old. That's some rusty ass shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
RG3 didn't have rookie year he had. We're not gonna act like Kirk Cousins.
No, it's not what I'm saying. But here, like when you look at
receivers.
When you look at like Washington, like a Washington fan talking to a Giants fan, it's kind of crazy because I mean, it's like you ain't got the same history. It ain't got the same. You ain't got the same history, and then like. On top of it, you guys wanted Daniel Jones at one time, and just don't forget that. You guys wanted Daniel Jones.
No, don't do it. Don't even say
there's a reason why. The reason why the Giants drafted him.
There's on this earth that wanted him other than y'all.
Don't do that, bro.
No, that's the reason why we drafted him at 6 because of y'all.
Not a chance. What year did he come in? What year did Daniel Jones come in?
2019.
5 years ago. That was the what draft? No, sir. That was the Chase Young draft. Are we serious?
No, that was Dwayne Haskins.
No, that was the Dwayne Haskins. You got Dwayne Haskins.
After that. Okay, the year after that. Okay. Yeah.
No, that was
you think we was going, bro?
No, that's what was going. Yeah, you wanted Daniel Jones.
Y'all definitely did, bro.
Bro,
you've been searching since,
that, and I don't believe that because I've never heard nothing like that. And if we
that's the truth.
I'm glad he went to y'all.
We are too.
I don't know why he's been whooping your ass since he got here.
It's a make or break year.
Hey David, you stupid.
Now like I ain't been watching the whole episode. It's a make or break year if he don't make the playoffs.
Anytime.
Now it's he the man. Bro. Come on.
Listen, bro. Anytime.
I just watched y'all for an hour and a half, bro.
Listen, anytime I'm trying to make a Giants fan believe in Daniel Jones, I show him Daniel Jones highlights against Washington. Okay, I do that every single time.
If you got to convince another fan, then that's a problem, bro.
Well, I can't. Look, they can't all be like-minded like myself. They all gonna have different flavors. Okay, so I mean, it is what it is. But let's don't get it twisted. I mean, if there's been one team that's got that ass whoop tap by Daniel Jones in his whole time, it's been Washington.
It's been
Washington. That's it. I mean, I don't even know how you can really say
like I
anything.
said, I'm not that down on Daniel Jones, but the Giants, like I said, the Giants as a whole, though, Daniel Jones can ball out. Y'all want to put it on, like y'all said, Daniel Jones ain't had this, Daniel Jones ain't had that, but y'all repeatedly brought in other pieces that not make him better. Y'all brought in Allen Robinson. What the fuck was that going to do for him?
We
Y'all
drafted Malik Nabers.
You hear
drafted Eric Flowers.
Are you really bringing up Allen Robinson out of all the things they did this off? You talking about Allen Robinson?
I'm talking about the excuses y'all made. No, that's what I'm telling you. Y'all keep complaining about not having wideouts, not having this, but you do shit like that. He wasn't coming off a good year.
Well,
y'all thought he was gonna be
and neither was the center from the Cowboys. You don't let your starting center go, bro. You don't let him go.
They don't have no money over there.
Exactly, and he also is no good because he was getting destroyed by Dexter Lawrence.
I want to see this man. I want to see this man Monday night after the Week 2 game.
Bro, I promise.
Can we make this happen? Can we make this happen?
It's a bet.
Because I'm gonna dress.
Going to be here.
I'm gonna dress in all black for this man's funeral. That's what I'm gonna do.
Then y'all put Malik Nabers on this pedestal like we don't have his quarterback. What the? How do you can't like one without the other, bro? Like you said, Joe Burrow Joe Burrow had Chase. You don't know what Chase would have been without Joe Burrow. Bro, that's the same thing. You don't know what Malik Nabers would have been without that Heisman play out of my quarterback.
That boy over there stretching because he reached.
All right, so look, we're gonna end it at that, man. We already set the date up, man. All the Washington fans that was in here, y'all make sure y'all get with TJ.
Gotta hold it down for the squad.
Y'all all sound just as delusional, man. So I know that's gonna fit just right up your alley right there. Hey, and if I didn't officially introduce TJ, this is my man Copizzle. Copizzle, this is my man TJ.
What's up, man? I heard a lot about you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So hey, man, we can't be letting fans invade the show. I'm hot right now.
Hey, I'm going easy on you, right? Time out. Fun fact: I didn't know Teron 20 years. He was a Jets fan. I'm out of here.
Like,
he had a Jets bumper sticker in high school.
Okay, then I put that on my car.
And he exposing? No, you can't come back in here, man.
He's not exposing nothing, man. Then I put that on my car. Anyway, listen, that's that on that, man. Giant salute to each and every Giant soldier that is tuned in. Y'all make sure you do your due diligence, man, and subscribe to each and every one of us that is up here. Look, this is only the beginning, man. This is only the beginning. We already got it for in-season talks. It's going to be lit, and y'all don't want to miss it, man. So, Copizzle, man, I'ma just have you close us out, and then we out of here, man.
Hey, go Big Blue. That's all that needs to be said.
There we go. Peace out, y'all. Peace.
All right, y'all.